Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen?
Keeler's always in the know.
It makes me want to call him
And tell him where to go.
And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
I was very confident about how the Bills were going to play last night. However, I never expected what we witnessed last night. Wow, these Bills are pretty tough.
Yeah, Josh Allen looks great. 4 touchdowns. He and Stephon Diggs have a great connection. They have almost ever since he's gotten to Buffalo. And the Bills are what? I want to say 5 teams 2-0, but by far I think they're the best 2-0 team out there. I mean, put the Bucs in the conversation too, I guess.
And they play this Sunday, so it's back to 1 o'clock on Sunday. Davey, were you? I mean, I think we both walked away yesterday thinking the Bills were going to do well, but I don't know. Did you expect that last night?
No, I thought it was going to be one of them normal Tennessee Bills game, a close game, and then Tennessee just takes off and beats the Bills like 14. I didn't expect to be a blowout.
Even with the Bills up at the half, I expected a tight game coming right down to the wire, and boy, was it not that. Holy cow. And then Yankees were off last night. Max Scherzer with a perfect game, leaving the game with a perfect game. You've always wondered what would happen with one of these, high-profile pitchers when the game doesn't mean anything and they're pitching a perfect game. They're back after a rehab stint. What do? Do you just let them go? 50 years ago, they would have.
Yeah, well, 50 years ago, if you gave up 7 runs in the first inning, you were still pitching 9 that day.
That's true. Yeah. And you were expected to do, 7, 8 innings 50 years ago. But Scherzer came out and the Mets with a big win, and surprisingly, the Atlanta Braves won. Oh, wait a minute. That's not a surprise.
No, not at all.
They're
Braves,
playing the Nationals, of course.
Yeah, the Braves won again. So it's still a game, but again, worst case scenario, the Mets are in the playoffs either way. So I certainly would love it to be because they won the division.
Is that official? So they've clinched a playoff
Yes, they
spot?
have.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, listen, let's hope it is. Although the Braves have played 2 fewer games than the Mets have played. So there's going to be some point where they're able to pick up a little ground here.
In the National League, the Dodgers, of course, clinched a while ago. The Mets, I shouldn't say a while ago, but it wasn't yesterday. So the Dodgers and Mets, the only 2 to clinch playoff spots. St. Louis has got an 8.5 game lead over the Brewers. It looks like it's going to come down to for the Wild. Well, I shouldn't say because the Mets could be one of the wild card teams, but Milwaukee's definitely in the mix there. San Diego's in the mix. The Braves and Phillies are in the mix. So we'll see. There'll be 3 wild cards this year, and then of course the 3 division winners.
Okay. Good morning, Christine Bellino.
Good morning, Bill Keeler.
So, couple of that story out of Rome with the Oneida County Sheriff's deputy is an awesome story.
It really is.
So, Jeff, it's your story. So,
well, and again, I found the information online. I reached out to the young lady who shared it. I also talked to, as a matter of fact, I talked to Sheriff Mashel about it just to confirm kind of that version of events. But he said, yeah, he's a good guy. He doesn't think he's someone who wants to talk about it. We've got a message out to try to get him on the show.
Yeah.
Doesn't think he's really a guy who likes credit for that stuff.
But for those that don't know, the story is that the sheriff's deputy was on a routine call and realized there were, 3 kids in the vehicle, and one of them had a car seat. The other 2 should have had a car seat. And, whatever came down, whether they said they just couldn't afford it or whatever the story was, he went inside, the deputy went inside the Walmart and purchased 2 more, with his own money, purchased 2 more car seats and gave them to the family and helped them hook them up. Pretty wild.
Yeah, he bought 3 of them right out of his pocket. And, he could have, my understanding is he could have issued them, tickets for not having.
Sure.
In New York State, I've got to look it up. I recently looked it up because this was a conversation that Mama and Carter was trying to convince me that he didn't need the seat anymore. And then my mother got into the conversation, and she was saying she didn't think he needed the seat anymore, the booster seat. But I believe it's like
Jeff,
8
they
years.
need them until they're
8 years
23.
old.
I think they might. It's age or size. So it could be a height issue.
Well, so right here it says New York law requires every child under 8 years old must be restrained using an appropriate car or booster seat given the child's weight, height, and age while within the car. Booster seats are for children 4 to 8 years old, weigh 40 to 80 pounds, and less than 4 feet 9 inches in height.
So
there's a lot of things.
And the recommendation, whether it's the law or not, the recommendation is also based on size, which I'm still required to wear a restrained seat in the back. So, and the rules have all changed, too, when it comes to seatbelt. Everybody has to be in a seatbelt, right? Front and back now.
Mm-hmm.
So, yet today, I don't think, do we require seatbelts on school buses? I'm not sure all school buses have them. I don't know. It's been a while since I've been on a school bus. Yesterday, all day long, all night long, as soon as my wife got home, it was funeral action. Who would have thought it would have been that the funeral would have been interesting enough to watch all day long, interrupt programming all day long?
Are you being sarcastic? Was it that interesting?
Well, my wife thinks it is.
Oh, that's why I thought the sarcasm was coming from. I didn't think you spent all day watching it.
But then again, she doesn't think watching a Bills game is overly interesting. But is it? I mean, the pomp and circumstance, the formalities, Christine. It's really quite amazing.
It was, and I was so shocked by the number of people who broke down in tears crying about the loss of the Queen. I mean, you had other people who weren't doing that. There's a whole set of memes on social media of people in Ireland who were celebrating, but not really. But there were children all over social media who were crying and said, I want the Queen back. And just very, very, very moving. And I think, we have the feeling in this country when we lose a president and we only know them for 4 years. We have
the next president who dies, there may be cheering going on, depending on who does the dying. Right.
Might be.
Where we are currently. It's just
we still have some very beloved presidents who are still alive.
I guess. But again, if I'm trying to think of who everybody loves. Clinton? I don't think so. Carter? I mean, Carter has been the most active president outside the office.
And you could argue that he is a better post-president than he was president.
I think you're absolutely right. And then, then you have Obama and Trump. I just think that there's enough there where today there's hatred from both sides, which is maybe it would be different when they die. But
it's interesting because when you see the younger Bush, Clinton, Obama getting together,
but they all get along.
They do. There's a genuine love and camaraderie and brotherhood between them.
Yeah. It seems like they do things together, when they can appear together, they can rise above the politics, which is something. We are streaming this morning, even though we're still in test mode, trying to get everything in place the way it should work and will work going forward. But Debbie, good morning out there. She's one that's already piped in. You want to join the stream, just go to YouTube Live and search for Keeler live stream with today's date, and we're up there. What else do we have here this morning? We mentioned the sports. We mentioned how about the marijuana expansion that is coming? The cannabis expansion. So at the Oneida Indian Nation, they're going to be using farmland to produce cannabis. What do you think about that, Manaski? Although on the Turning Stone property, it is not permissible.
Yeah, I find that pretty interesting.
And despite New York state law.
My headline was going to be Turning Stoned. And
right.
But you can't smoke on the property, apparently, or consume, because I guess edibles are, I don't know, some of the stuff that I see online is like, it's you can get it in cooking oil, you can get it in all these things. Anyway, my point is this, it certainly makes sense. There's a lot of available land out there. They own the land. I'm sure they'll make a ton of money on it.
I think that's there's no doubt they're diversifying their income.
I wonder how long the no marijuana consumption on the property, though, how long that stays in effect.
Yeah.
I think it has to stay, because what are you going to have, dealers and who are stoned? They'll lose money. It's a financial decision.
Well,
yeah, but that's
you can't drink on the job, though.
No. That's they would not be allowing dealers or employees to smoke, but customers.
But can you smoke cigarettes on the premises?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you can get a secondhand high from the marijuana smoke in the premises if there's enough.
Yeah, but you don't have to. What I'm saying though is you don't have to. What the rule seems to be is on the property. That includes outdoors. I would assume.
Right.
It's one thing to say no smoking inside their smoking area,
gaming area,
but to be outdoors, it seems like that might be the rule as well. So I do question how long that'll stay in play. But like anything else, employees shouldn't be consuming alcohol, which is legal.
Correct.
Nor should they be consuming marijuana. And I do think if their smoking area was completely packed and everybody was smoking marijuana, there might be a secondhand high there. It might be possible. Because
they have
their ventilation is pretty good, though.
I was going to say they do have an amazing ventilation system where a lot of times you could be in an area that is smoking and you might not even know it. If you're a smoker, you might not.
Not if you're a non-smoker.
From a distance, though, you don't see clouds of smoke, Christine.
You don't, but you'd know it. I mean, if you're a non,
if you were in there,
I walk in and into the smoking area, and I'm like, oh, I forgot what this smelled like. None of their restaurants have smoking, but there is a designated smoking area that has some gaming and a bar. Okay, so the United Nations says they're going to be growing cannabis, and also the apple cider mill, Beak and Skiff, has announced they're going to be growing cannabis, and they're doing what they're calling an heirloom brand name for marijuana-infused beverages. So that was an announcement that came yesterday. It includes edibles like gummies and vape products that will be produced by the company called Gen V Labs in Lafayette. It's a new company that is wholly owned by the family that also operates Beak and Skiff, which is the largest apple orchard in central New York.
I don't want to come across like I'm anti-marijuana or I'm pro-marijuana. This is just an observation. And maybe it's because I'm a cigarette smoker. You can't. All these companies, and again, they should have gotten in trouble. This stuff causes cancer. But everybody got in trouble for marketing to kids and flavored cigarettes. And then it was vapes. You're marketing to kids. You have strawberry vapes and blueberry vapes and straw blueberry vapes and all this stuff. Can't do that. This is what I mean, kind of where I was going earlier with the marijuana. They put it in candy bars. You can get a strawberry flavor. You can get a banana. I mean, you can get whatever you want And how is that not? Does that not fall under the same umbrella? And I guess I'll ask the question with this as well. With alcohol, they're putting in alcohol. It's like an apple.
I almost
flavor.
think that the vaping though was being handled much differently than marijuana. So you have to be 21 and over for marijuana, and it does seem like the regulation is very, very strong when it comes to that.
Vaping is 21 though.
I understand that, but let me finish. Whereas the vaping, it almost seemed like, well, this isn't really cigarette smoke, so it's not as bad as cigarette smoke, and it almost became something that that kids under 21, it didn't seem to be as bad of a thing until there started to be a couple of incidents where kids were having lung problems and that sort of thing, and then and they started doing it in schools, and teachers didn't know it. All of a sudden, I think it became a problem that I don't know why they didn't seem to expect. Whereas marijuana, their guard is up on marijuana. That's just my take. Whether it's the case, I don't know. But all interesting stuff. Beacon Skiff adding all different types of flavors. Adam Sandler, when he comes to the Turning Stone Resort and Casino, I imagine he'll be off the cane, but he just went through hip surgery and is, according to TMZ, walking around with a cane. And he doesn't really look that old, but hip surgery, you're probably gonna have a cane.
Sure, absolutely.
Right? I mean, there's some pain there. Walking.
What did he do?
I don't know. And they want you up walking right away, don't they?
Yeah.
When these surgeries happen, they want people up and running right away.
Can I just
he
say?
got old, Jeff.
Or walking right away.
He's not that old. How old is he?
Old enough for hip surgery.
I guess so. I just want to mention, since you mentioned it, I want to say to my mother, I love you and good luck. My mother's actually having a little hip procedure done this morning.
Okay. All right. Is it like a replacement?
It's not a replacement. I believe she tore something, but no, she's not getting her hip replaced, no.
Okay. Christine was never a fan of Alex Trebek. What do you think of the new host, Christine?
I don't even know who the new host is.
Well, there are two of them. It's the woman there, whatever. What was her name, or is her name? Malik.
Mila Bialik.
Whatever.
Yes,
that is her. And
Okay,
Ken Jennings. Ken Jennings is the other host. He is making some people very, very angry. Are you a Jeopardy watcher, Davey? You look angry in there. Jeopardy and Days of Our Lives is two big shows. Listen. He's making people very angry based on some decisions. It's almost, they're saying, as if he's picking sides, like he'll allow one contestant to get away with an answer. Like, for instance, in Final Jeopardy on Monday, the person who put an answer, wrote an answer, but it was incomplete. He accepted it. But others, he wouldn't accept the answer to. So why for this one and not for that one?
it's always been my understanding that, like, Alex Trebek would say something like on a mispronunciation or a partial word. He would say, "We go to the judges," and he'd pause for a second. He'd say, "The judges allowed this," right? And basically, you've seen this before, right?
I do think you're right.
Doesn't it come from somebody else? It's not him making the call on the spot.
Right. I would think it would be up to the judges, but he is calling it. At least it looks like it based on the editing. He is calling it on the spot. And there were a couple of incidents this week where on Twitter people are going nuts over some of his decisions.
Well, people are going nuts on Twitter. Get out of here.
It's crazy. What else are they going to do? Christine has an update coming up. It's Tuesday, September 20th. We have a bunch to get into here this morning. We will speak with Mary Finnegan is running for Oneida County Clerk. We'll have her in. The New Hartford Police Chief, Ron Fontaine. We'll speak with him in regards to that cross-country meet the other day and what happened on Saturday. Today is Mohawk Valley Gives. It's the day where you can give to your local charity. We'll talk to John Swan and Alicia Dix coming up later on this morning as well. The Potting Shed is holding their, we've been giving away $50 gift cards for their anniversary. Do you know their 50th anniversary, I believe, is this Saturday, Davey?
Right, Bill.
It is. It is this Saturday. And this morning, as part of our free money question of the day, we'll give you a chance to win a $50 gift card to the Potting Shed Antiques. Don Hartman is in studio a little later on this morning, and we'll get to all of that.
Montessori Preschool at Notre Dame Elementary School was voted #1 in the Observer Dispatch's Best of the Best. Enrollment for this year is still open, so apply now to reserve a place for your child. Montessori at Notre Dame Elementary School is for children 3 to 5 years old and follows the educational principles of Maria Montessori. Our teachers and assistants work one-on-one and in small group instruction to help children develop their potential in an engaging environment, inspiring creativity, better self-discipline, and self-correction and assessment. At Montessori at Notre Dame Elementary School, language, art, science, math, and geography are all part of the curriculum. In Montessori classrooms, children make creative choices in their learning, while the classroom teachers offer age-appropriate activities to guide the process and help children become lifelong learners. Enrollment is still open, so apply now. For more information, call 315-724-5118, extension 35, or visit NotreDameUtica.org. That's NotreDameUtica.org.
Good morning, WIBX. First news with Keeler in the morning. News time is 6:38. 62 degrees. We'll have your full forecast coming up in just 2 minutes. Your news is brought to you by Hilton Estate and Elder Law. As the debate over transporting migrants to Democrat-led cities heats up, the governor of Florida is claiming the dozens of migrants flown to Martha's Vineyard went voluntarily. Meanwhile, the sheriff in Bexar County, Texas, opening an investigation alleging that migrants were lured, flown to Florida, and ultimately left to fend for themselves. At Martha's Vineyard, DeSantis chartered 2 planes to transport the migrants last week as part of broader efforts by Republicans to bus migrants to Democrat-led cities. Today will be a busy day for President Biden. He is scheduled to deliver remarks on the Disclose Act, an election transparency bill that the Senate plans to vote on this week. Biden will also head to New York to address the UN General Assembly. Hurricane Fiona upgraded to a major Category 3 storm. This after the system left behind some catastrophic flooding and widespread power outages in Puerto Rico. The Biden administration is promising to help as more than 300 FEMA workers are helping to restore damage and fix the power on the island. Accommodations for transgender children being rolled back by the governor of Virginia. New policies from the Virginia Department of Education include requiring students to use the bathroom that matches the sex they were assigned at birth. Students are also prohibited from changing their name or gender unless legally approved by a parent. The city of Jackson, Mississippi, being sued by residents over the recent water crisis. The class action lawsuit has been filed against the city and local officials, alleging years of neglect. It seeks financial damages and asks the court to force the city to repair its water system. Wheel of Fortune host Pat Sajak is feeling backlash over a photo with him and Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. The picture was reshared on a Twitter account described as, quote, exposing right-wing extremism and other threats to democracy, while many people expressed outrage that the game show host posed with the controversial Republican politician. Others called the controversy an example of cancel culture. Your WIBX Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Hilton Estate and Elder Law. A chance of showers today, mostly cloudy skies with a high near 68 degrees. More clouds tonight with a low around 52. Showers likely and possibly a thunderstorm on Wednesday. Otherwise, partly sunny during the day. The high near 77 degrees. Wednesday night, showers and possibly a thunderstorm. Low around 55 degrees. We'll have more rain on Thursday. Your 5-day forecast coming up at WIBX at the top of the hour. Your temperature brought to you by Cliff's Local Market. They keep you going right now. 62 degrees. WIBX 950 AM and 106.9 FM news time is 6:40.
All right, stand by. We'll come right back. We have a pretty nice day on the way for tomorrow. We might get a little bit of a shower, Christine, but temperatures up there. After that, things begin to cool off into the 60s. First day of fall officially comes in around 9 p.m. on Thursday. Oh, yeah. It's 6:41. Coming right back at WIBX.
The equity in your home is at an all-time high. Don't let empty nest syndrome keep you from taking advantage of the low-rate environment. Now is the perfect time for AmeriQ's home equity loans and lines of credit. Turn that teenage time capsule into the guest room you've always dreamed of. You plan the project. We'll help make it happen. Make new memories with AmeriQ. Get started today at AmeriQ.org. Membership eligibility is required. Equal housing lender insured by NCUA.
You wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, dirt, and germs, and it's why nose cleaning is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons: sinusitis, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they also find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Nearly 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying things like, "Best product I've ever used," and "Amazing, I love my Navage." That's because Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. Here's the key point. Navage is good personal hygiene, and it's going to help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Is your prostate secretly being destroyed without you knowing it? All the ads for these prostate pills like Super Beta Prostate, Saw Palmetto, ProstaStream, Prostagenics, and others, want to know which pills work and which are garbage? Now you can. Get a free copy of the new guide, Prostate Secrets, that pulls back the curtain on the prostate pill industry. Learn what is really in these pills. Which pill has over 987 adverse event reports filed against it with the FDA? It's shocking. Learn the one food to avoid that is a prostate killer, and discover the 3 so-called health foods that destroy your prostate. Get your free copy at prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com. This free guide will show you how to end your prostate problems without drugs or surgery, 5 important things to do to protect your prostate, and much more. Warning, this guide is controversial and may be offensive to some readers as it pulls no punches. So go to prostatesecrets.com. prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton. I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
And a Tuesday morning, 6:44, and let's see, what do we have to hit here this morning that has, today is National Pepperoni Pizza Day, if you care. You know, I saw a thing the other day. There's this special on Netflix. I think it's Netflix about the greatest pizza in the world, and there has been an actual, really culinary. I don't want to call it a study, but many agree. Do you know where the best pizza in the world is, according to culinary experts? Now, one might say it'll be Rome, Italy. There's some pizza chef there that's supposed to be amazing. But let's just say in the United States, where's the best pizza in the United States? Although I think they call it the best pizza in the world. But where's the best pizza in the United States?
New York City?
One would think, right? You'd think
it's
New
like
York City.
Milwaukee or something, right? Was it something bizarre like that?
It's Arizona. But it is it's a guy from New York City who went there, and there's this whole, it's like a 40-minute documentary on this guy, and it's really quite interesting. Yeah, you can find. And he makes pizza in Arizona. And it's all made with natural ingredients, and there have been several that have been like, are you kidding me? There's no way the best pizza in America is in Arizona. And then they go there to taste it, and they're like, oops, I think it's the best pizza in America.
Really?
Yeah. I believe he might be from Brooklyn. Grew up there, worked at pizzerias, and then was in the mafia. Then he got
something and witness protection to Arizona.
That could be. But today is National Pepperoni Pizza Day. But that's kind of like every day, isn't it? or every other day, or every third day, or every Friday, however you have your pizza.
I mean, I must have pizza for lunch or dinner 5 days a week. Grab a slice.
Yeah,
boom.
so every day's National Pepperoni Pizza Day for you. Alfredo's Pizza in Scranton, Pennsylvania, which was featured in The Office, is now suing a man that left a $3,000 tip for a waitress because he ended up canceling the payment. Had second thoughts, apparently. Here is manager Zachary Jacobson talking about how they are now taking the man to court. I mean, the waitress got all excited because they were getting a $3,000 tip, and then all of a sudden he had second thoughts.
A little bit over a month ago, actually, we received something in the mail that Eric was disputing the charges for the tip that he left. We thought somebody was actually trying to do a good thing, and then now here we are, 3 months later, not even, and now there's nothing to show for it at this point. It's just a little aggravating right now. It's been causing a lot of nonsense and drama. Unfortunately, we had to file charges through the magistrate's office because now we're just out of this money at this point. He told us to sue him. So that's what we're going to end up doing, I guess.
No.
Okay,
no,
Christine.
no.
Okay.
So the guy left a tip. What happened? Maybe he had second thoughts because...
I'm getting a very echoey non-microphone sound on you, Christine, today. Okay.
Can you hear me better now?
It sounds like you're in a bathroom, just for the record. And I know you're not.
I'm not.
Yeah. You really have to lean in that far, huh?
For the moment, I'll do that.
Okay, all right.
I'll fix it. Anyway, if he did that, maybe something happened. Maybe A, he had too much to drink at the pizzeria. Maybe B, he realized he really didn't have that money to give, and it's not like the person is owed that money. He was doing a good gesture. I'm sorry it didn't work out, but we shouldn't sue him over it.
Probably not, although it's still inappropriate to give a $3,000 tip and then be like, I changed my mind.
Right, I know.
Hold on.
I agree with that.
Christine.
But I'm not sure it's worthy of a... I hate to say, I'll let you go in a second, but at least in New York State, there's no lawsuit. And if I'm correct, you have so many... It might be 1 full day or 2 full days to pull out of a contract.
Right, isn't it 72 hours?
Something like that, yeah. I believe that is still law in New York State.
Right.
Although it might be something I learned on Little House. The law where, hey, if you mow my lawn long enough, I'm going to own it, or you're going to own it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That,
Is that where that comes from?
I think it's old law. It's old law from the 1800s, or someone who I know believes it's still the law. Yeah.
I grew up believing that too, so.
Yeah, it's not true.
So, Christine, you're objecting to the restaurant suing the guy who left the tip?
Yes.
All right. I'm just going to say this. The server...
What I'm saying, though, is with as Christine called it, buyer's remorse, in New York, you wouldn't even have a lawsuit.
Yeah.
He could change his mind.
This was a couple weeks later, right? It wasn't like a couple days later.
It doesn't say in the story.
No, so depending upon when they did the processing of the charge and all that other stuff.
Yeah, if the money's already in their account.
The server gets $3,000 for a tip, goes and puts it toward a college loan payment or a house payment or whatever, pays for something. They've spent that money now.
And I don't think that happened here. I think in this case,
but even if it did,
yeah.
Then the restaurant should hold a little fundraiser and say, hey, she got gypped out of this money. Let's, help her out.
Yeah, she probably would end up raising more money if they did that.
She probably
would
raise more money.
Don't sue the guy.
Yeah. And you're kind of a heel, though, if you decide to. And what is it that you were drunk and you gave a tip? Sometimes I think it's important for people to live up to their own mistakes, but whatever.
Agreed.
In this case, my guess is the guy won't be coming back for pizza ever again after he's being sued.
What do you think made him change? Made him change his mind.
I don't have any of that in the story. There's none of that in the story, and I don't think it explains why he gave up on the tip, but he did.
Maybe the wife saw it. Oh,
that might.
You
be
left
it.
Mariana a $3,000 tip. Who's Mariana?
That might be it. Christine, were you watching any of the funeral yesterday of Queen Elizabeth?
I only watched little bits and pieces of it.
Okay. Did you notice, and actually President Trump came out and said, I would have, did you see where Biden was sitting? I would have been sitting in a much better place. Well, that might be true. President Biden and the First Lady were 14 rows back at the funeral of Queen Elizabeth yesterday. So a lot of people wondering, God, you're back behind this country, you're behind Poland, you're behind this one. Why are you back so far? And it turns out that the reasoning behind this is because the U.S. Biden's had to be at the funeral at 10:07 a.m., but the U.S. required a change in policy, and that is because they wanted Biden in the beast. They said they would not. There was not going to be a situation where they would herd everybody in, all these world leaders in. Biden would not be a part of that. He was going to be in a secure vehicle, and they received permission for that. The problem is they got stuck in traffic because the traffic was so tight in London, and there are actually photos showing the beast trying to make it through traffic, and the Brits were not waiting for anybody, so they just seated people, and the Bidens ended up arriving late, and they ended up being seated in row number 14. So that's the reason that happened. They should have been there at 10:07. I think they arrived fairly much later than that. So if you're wondering why, it would not be a disrespect to the Bidens. It would be a disrespect to the United States, right? If that were the case. But they're saying that it was the decision to drive in the beast. There's a rock and roll concert coming to the Syracuse area. Two legendary rock and roll Hall of Famers are coming to Syracuse. Are you ready? Davey, are you a big Daryl Hall fan?
Yeah, I like John Oates and Daryl Hall. And I saw who's coming with them.
It's only Daryl Hall and Daryl's house band will be performing, but certainly members of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This will be Saturday, November 19th. And who else is coming?
Todd Rundgren.
Rundgren, who is Hello, It's Me, but also does our bang on the drum song, which we play on Fridays. That'll be Saturday, November 19th, and it is at where is it? Somewhere.
One is at the On Center, I think.
Might be the On Center. Well, they're together. They're together. They're playing together. Rundgren is opening for Daryl Hall. And the Syracuse news is covering not only the one from here, but there apparently are others that historic reenactments, war reenactments, that have been canceled because of the confusion over the gun laws. And we talked about this. Apparently there's been a clarification from New York State that this would not include, the new gun laws would not include these reenactments. However, there have been cancellations. Several historical war reenactments have been canceled in upstate New York amid confusion over the new gun laws. The OD reported Living History Weekend, scheduled to take place last weekend in Herkimer County, something that we've reported probably about 9 days before the OD. They decided against actually having that event because they were confused. And I don't think you can take away that confusion. There's so much confusion about these laws. To just say, well, no, that doesn't count. You didn't have to cancel. The fact that there's confusion, don't you think that's significant?
Right. Well, and I think, too, sometimes there are minor injuries reported at some of these reenactments. And I think from their perspective, the last thing that they need is for them to have like a minor injury reported at one of these things. And then people say, oh, my gosh, that's because you were breaking the law. And then there's a major lawsuit.
Well, I don't think you'd have to worry about a minor injury. You wouldn't have to necessarily worry about it. I think this is more of a political statement than anything else. According to officials there, they said it would be illegal according to the governor's law. Now, Kathy Hochul is coming out and saying such events would not be illegal. These laws allow historical reenactments to occur, and there should be no concern otherwise, she told the New York Post. Manaski.
Yeah, we will work with legislators and local law enforcement to ensure these events can proceed as they have for centuries. In the meantime, individuals who have lawfully participated in reenactments should continue to do so. But again, when you paint with such a broad brush, I do think that this is people canceling these things could be a political thing. I absolutely do think that. But at the same time, I mean,
I also think there's confusion. There is confusion.
So
I mean,
if you're
even when Sheriff Mashel comes in here and sits down and said, "We don't know. We're confused over these laws. We don't know what we're supposed to do at this point." When your law enforcement officials are confused, I think you have a problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
And some of these rolled out way earlier than anybody was ever ready for, and it's typical in New York, where we roll things out without explaining what it all ends up meaning. And I do believe that some of these gun laws that have been instituted in New York may very well fall under the category of unconstitutional. We will find out over time, because that somebody's certainly going to challenge them. Got a break. Stand by. We'll come right back here. News, top of the hour. Christine will have an update as well. We are streaming live. You can go to YouTube Live to check it out. It's call it our test stream over the next few days, as we're trying to get ourselves all in a way where we know exactly what we're doing. Because right now, we may be flying a bit by, or at least I am, flying a bit by the seat of my pants. But it's working, and the quality is really, really good. And if
it's too good.
If you recall where we were and where we are now, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. News is next on WIBX.
Visit Turning Stone Resort Casino, where you could win part of $135,000 in cash in Fall Festival Bingo September 24th. There will be over $5,000 in door prizes, TVs, iPads, Apple Watches, $100 gift cards, and more. Call Turning Stone to make your reservation today. 800-347-9086. That's 800-347-9086.
Hi, this is John Calabrese. Is your company looking to hire qualified, dependable employees but unsure of where to look? Let Express Employment Professionals take on the recruitment and hiring process for you. We're a locally owned, full-service staffing firm. We'll help you find your next star employees. Business decisions come down to time and money, and Express can save you both. We take on finding employees for you so you can focus on meeting your business goals. Find us on the web at expressmohawkvalley.com for details on how to get started. Are you looking for a great job? Stop searching. ECR International is hiring for assemblers and maintenance technicians. You could be working for the company that actually helped kickstart the world-famous Boilermaker Road Race. Both of the positions that we're currently hiring for offer excellent pay with a full benefits package. Instead of waking up every day dreading work, wake up and have a fulfilling job working for a great local company. Work for ECR International. To find out more, just call Express Employment at 315-790-5723.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Tired of companies like Google and Facebook watching everything you do online? There's actually a simple solution: DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with a push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
From the Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
Is full of more fury. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Now, a Category 3 hurricane bearing down on Turks and Caicos with 115-mile-an-hour winds. After already hitting the Dominican Republic, killing one person, and Puerto Rico, killing at least one on that island, where it's still raining. Some areas have had over 2 feet.
Flooding everywhere, not only in the mountains, washing homes in some cases off the sides of mountains, but entire neighborhoods once again underwater. We saw some incredible scenes for the Puerto Rican National Guard of people being rescued, holding onto concrete pillars, holding onto trees, trying to get out of floodwater. A lot of people spent all night last night in one of the 128 emergency shelters that have been set up across the island.
Fox Weather's Will Nunley in Puerto Rico. Shots fired in Texas late last night at the Tri-State Fair and Rodeo in Potter County. The gunman took aim at an off-duty sheriff's deputy, also wounded on an off-duty firefighter and a bystander. Deputies returned fire and badly injured the shooter. In San Antonio, Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar is now investigating Florida Governor Ron DeSantis after the Republicans sent flights of migrants last week to Massachusetts.
Somebody came from out of state, preyed upon these people, lured them with promises of a better life, which is what they were absolutely looking for.
Fox's Evan Brown has a response from Florida.
A senior Florida official tells reporters that migrants at the Texas border, many homeless and hungry, were identified as wanting to go to the state of Florida, but were willing instead to be taken to Martha's Vineyard. Before their flights, they were given a night in a hotel with opportunities to bathe and receive haircuts. The travelers were given a brochure with information about assistance offered in Massachusetts.
Now, the number of migrants stopped crossing the border last month rose slightly from July, 203,000. World leaders are gathering in New York, where the head of the United Nations will warn today the world is in great peril amid a war in Ukraine, climate change, and COVID. America's listening to Fox News.
Sebastian Gorka here. I'm living a very blessed life as an intelligence analyst, a national talk show host, and author, and I have an amazing family. But like many of us, aches and pains start to interfere with living my best life, even just walking the dog. But I found Relief Factor 3 years ago, a 100% drug-free solution for aches and pains, and now I'm pain-free, and I have my life back. I take Relief Factor every day. Relief Factor can help your body fight the inflammation that causes joint and muscle pain and other aches and pains that come with everyday life. Treat yourself to feeling better. Move more, live more, and just enjoy your life more with Relief Factor. Join me and more than 500,000 other Americans. Get started today with your 3-week quick starter pack for just $19.95. Almost 70% of those who order go on to use it more. ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com. Feel the difference with Relief Factor.
Good morning, WIBX. First news with Keeler in the morning news. Time is 7:03. It is Tuesday, September 20th. Your news is brought to you by Mohawk Valley Gives. Help more than 150 nonprofit organizations meet our community's greatest needs. Log on to givemv.org to donate today. 61 degrees and overcast and some mist in our listening area. We'll have your full forecast coming up in just 2 minutes. A reminder, a boil water advisory remains in effect for Sequoia. Residents may have to boil their water for this entire week. We'll keep you up to date at WIBX950.com. The U.S. Department of Education naming their 2022 National Blue Ribbon Schools. One local district made the grade. New Hartford Senior High School is one of 297 schools throughout the country and one of only 20 from New York State to receive Blue Ribbon status. That's according to the U.S. Department of Education. The only other school in central New York to be named was Skaneateles Middle School. The Oneida Indian Nation announcing plans to launch a new marijuana business in the next few months. They will both grow and process marijuana at a 50,000 square foot facility that will be built on Hill Road in Verona. Shops will be set up on properties located on Nation territory that includes portions of both Madison and Oneida counties. However, consumption of cannabis products remains banned at Oneida Nation's enterprise properties, including the Turning Stone Casino. 2 job fairs will be held this week to help alleviate some of the labor shortages that businesses are dealing with. The first hiring event is today from 2 until 5 at the Embassy Suites located outside of Destiny, USA. Tomorrow is between 1 and 5 at the On Center. The Department of Labor says the current unemployment rate in Syracuse is 3.7%. That's down from 5.2% a year ago. Deputies in Onondaga County releasing some new information about a home invasion in Lysander over the weekend. Deputies say the crime that happened at a home Saturday night is an isolated incident. A man entered a house and demanded items from people inside before running away. No one was hurt. They're asking anyone with information to contact the sheriff's office. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer laying out his plan to help keep Empire State residents warm during the winter. He's looking to add money to the federal budget to make certain that the HEAP funds don't run out. That's the Home Energy Assistance Program. People can get between $350 and $675 annually, depending on their income and the heat source they use. And it happened at a Rome Walmart recently. A Central New York woman by the name of Brittany Benanati says an Oneida County Sheriff's deputy was helping her with something in the parking lot when a group of 6 people, 2 adults and 4 children, left a vehicle and entered the store. The woman says Deputy Chuck Haynes observed that 3 of the 4 children should have been in booster seats, but saw the vehicle had only 1 car seat inside. After speaking with the adults about the law, she says Deputy Haynes went into the store and with his own money purchased the additional car seats for the family. You can read that heartwarming story at WIBX950.com. Your WIBX Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Cliff's Local Market. They keep you going. A chance of showers today, mainly before 5 p.m. Mostly cloudy with a high near 68 degrees. More clouds tonight with a low around 52. Wednesday, showers likely and possibly a thunderstorm. Partly sunny skies with a high near 77. More showers likely Wednesday night with a low around 55. Thursday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny with a high near 62 degrees. Showers likely Thursday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 42 degrees. Your temperature is brought to you by Hilton Estate and Elder Law. 61 right now. WIBX 950 AM and 106.9 FM news time is 7:06. Here's Jeff Manaski with sports.
All right, thank you, Christine. The Mets clinched their first playoff spot in 6 years as Max Scherzer threw 6 perfect innings last night. The Mets beat the Brewers by a final of 7-2 in the opener of a 3-game series. Scherzer perfect on his way to his 10th win of the season. The Mets ace struck out 9, did not allow a base runner over 6 innings pitched. Pete Alonso hit his 36th home run of the season, a 3-run blast. The Mets maintain a 1-game lead over the Atlanta Braves in the National League East, but again, Mets are headed for the playoffs either way. After salvaging their series finale against the Brewers in Milwaukee, the Yankees return to the Diamond for the start of a brief 2-game series against the Pirates tonight. Nestor Cortez is the scheduled starter. Big win for the Bills last night. Man, they look good. 41-7, a blowout win over the Titans. In their home opener, Josh Allen led the way with 317 yards passing and 4 touchdowns. Stephon Diggs caught 3 of those scores, 12 balls, 148 receiving yards. Ryan Tannehill had a tough time under center for the Titans. He completed just 11 of 20 passes for 117 yards and threw 2 interceptions. Well, the Bills providing a positive update on cornerback Dane Jackson. He was carted off the field with a neck injury during the game last night. Buffalo announced Jackson had full movement in his extremities when he was evaluated at a local hospital. The other Monday night game last night, the Eagles blew out the Vikings. A final of 24-7. Philadelphia off to a 2-0 start. Nagel, they're tied with the Giants atop the National League, the NFC East. Coming up this weekend, the Giants might be without one of their defensive centerpieces, Leonard Williams. He's played 112 straight games without missing one due to injury, but is considered day-to-day after an MRI revealed he sprained his MCL. That came in the third quarter of the Giants' win over the Panthers this weekend. And Jets quarterback Zach Wilson making progress as he works his way back from injury. Robert Saleh, the head coach, telling reporters that Wilson will take another step in his practice work over the next couple of days. He'll be reevaluated by doctors to see when he might be cleared for game action. The earliest possible return date would be Week 4 against the Steelers. This coming weekend, the Jets host the Bengals at the Meadowlands, not the Meadowlands. The Meadowlands. Go ahead.
I don't have nothing to say. What do you guys say?
I don't have nothing to say either. Christine?
You pulled right up to the mic. I don't know. You got something?
Well, you were looking at me saying you wanted me to help you about something.
Yeah, it's what eye contact does.
Sorry.
You ever look at a dog? You ever stare in the eyes of a dog? Or a coyote? Did you see that story that KTV had?
Yeah, did you see that?
With the coyote came. I didn't know we had coyotes even around here. But apparently we have about 30,000 of them.
What?
I think that's what it said. Maybe 3,000. I was looking up how many. Look up how many coyotes there are. What is the coyote population in New York State, Christine? I was surprised because I've heard people say there aren't any coyotes around here. But well, there are. But the DEC introduced them in order to take care of the deer population. So there's been this back and forth thing. But apparently there are a coyote. This was over in the Whitestown area. Came up into a backyard and started going after the dogs. And then the dogs started going after the coyote. And you got to think the coyote's a little tougher than the house pets. And then all of a sudden, a man who should be called Dog came out running after the coyote and scared it away. Good for him. And there's some people that have to be treated for rabies because the coyote got away. No, they don't know if they had exposure to the coyote.
Oh, boy.
In some cases, just saliva. But what do you know, Christine? about coyotes. Tell me you have one there at the house.
I don't. When I lived, if I found an injured one, I'd bring it home.
You would. I know you would.
Yeah.
You domesticate the coyote.
When I lived in Saratoga, there were coyotes there.
Yeah, so especially upstate New York, they're saying Long Island and New York City, there's no population of coyotes, although there is a bar there called Coyote Ugly. Other than that, I believe that the coyotes are basically upstate.
Right, and they said between 20 and 30,000.
Yeah,
in the state.
Big number. Quite a video if you see their home. That's the beauty of the world we live in today, is that everybody seems to have a video camera. Whether it's Ring or some sort of a camera system, everywhere you turn, there's video of everything now, which is refreshing. I kind of like it. Listen, you want to have a place to put your video camera? Buy a house, and Adirondack Bank can help with their mortgage options, tailored perfectly for your needs. At Adirondack Bank, you can choose from fixed conventional mortgages, construction, FHA, VA mortgages, second home, vacation home, investment property, camp financing program, or the USDA rural housing loans, all available for you. The perfect loan, the perfect mortgage to fit your needs is at Adirondack Bank. Whether it's your first home, a refinance, a camp, one of these beautiful second homes that you might call a camp. We're going to camp, and then you see it, and it's like, wow, that is just beautiful. Adirondack Bank can help. They have the product that will suit your needs. Their team of professional and dedicated staff can help you choose the mortgage that's right for you. Local bank, local decisions. Start at adkbank.com. Adirondack Bank, member FDIC.
A clean, healthy home is more important than ever. We all want to live in a safe environment, free from allergens and harmful bacteria. And at ABC ChemDry, that's what we provide our customers every day. Our green certified cleaning solution, The Natural, uses hot carbonation to safely remove up to 98% of allergens from carpet and upholstery. With our patented cleaning process, we can also remove more than 98% of bacteria from tile, stone, grout, and granite countertops. And if you have pets, our pet urine removal treatment called PERT can eliminate more than 99% of pet urine odors and bacteria. We guarantee we'll get the stains out too. And an ABC ChemDry cleaning can even reduce airborne bacteria in your home by up to 89%. Now that's clean. Protect your family. Trust ABC ChemDry, your healthy home authority. Call us at 315-738-1111 or visit abcchemcleaners.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
When everyone gets together, we can do more. On September 20th, the Community Foundation will hold Mohawk Valley Gives, a 24-hour community giving day for 150 local nonprofit organizations. Your donation at givemv.org will help meet our community needs, and every dollar counts. Join us on September 20th at givemv.org, and let's show everybody that Mohawk Valley Gives. Sponsored by StaffWorks and M&T Bank and brought to you by Town Square Media.
Mohawk Valley FCU is giving you even more reasons to become a member and save money with their early fuel loan program. If you use alternative heating such as propane, heating fuel, pellets, or wood, then Mohawk Valley FCU has your back. You could receive up to $2,000 subject to credit approval. Stock up now for the upcoming heating season and save with Mohawk Valley FCU. Just one of the many benefits Mohawk Valley FCU has to offer. Visit MohawkValleyFCU.org for more info. Mohawk Valley FCU, member focused, member driven.
Hi, this is John Calabrese. Is your company looking to hire qualified, dependable employees but unsure of where to look? Let Express Employment Professionals take on the recruitment and hiring process for you. We're a locally owned, full-service staffing firm. We'll help you find your next star employees. Business decisions come down to time and money, and Express can save you both. We take on finding employees for you so you can focus on meeting your business goals. Find us on the web at expressmohawkvalley.com for details on how to get started. Are you looking for a great job? Stop searching. ECR International is hiring for assemblers and maintenance technicians. You could be working for the company that actually helped kickstart the world-famous Boilermaker Road Race. Both of the positions that we're currently hiring for offer excellent pay with a full benefits package. Instead of waking up every day dreading work, wake up and have a fulfilling job working for a great local company. Work for ECR International. To find out more, just call Express Employment at 315-790-5723.
You wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, dirt, and germs, and it's why nose cleaning is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons: sinusitis, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they also find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Nearly 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying things like, "Best product I've ever used," and "Amazing, I love my Navage." That's because Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. Here's the key point. Navage is good personal hygiene, and it's going to help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Visit Turning Stone Resort Casino, where you could win part of $135,000 in cash in Fall Festival Bingo September 24th. There will be over $5,000 in door prizes, TVs, iPads, Apple Watches, $100 gift cards, and more. Call Turning Stone to make your reservation today. 800-347-9086. That's 800-347-9086.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Okay, all right. Just to let you know, we are streaming live this morning on YouTube Live, and I'm just getting used to everything because everything is all discombobulated right now, and I'm all over the place, so I'm just getting used to everything, and apparently that's not right. I have no camera there. 1, 2, 3. Why is this doing this? Boom, 4. Okay, see, the numbers are all off. There's Mary. So 8 is long. That shouldn't be. I don't know why that. Am I making any sense at all?
Well, not to me. I
not
can't
to
see
anybody.
your keyboard. You know,
right,
so.
right. So we're trying to be able to switch cameras around and all that stuff. So, so 8 is the long shot. And then let's see, 7 should be the guest, which would be, in this case, Mary Finnegan is running for Oneida County Clerk. And that is her. You can wave if you want. Yep, there we go. 6 should be Jeff. Boom. 5 would be me. Get off me. There we go. And the long shot would be 7. Oops, nope. That's Mary drinking water.
How do you get Christine up on there?
I don't have her up yet. I haven't figured
Thank God.
that out as of yet. So I'm working on it, though. Anyway, you go to YouTube Live, search for Keeler live stream for Tuesday, September 20th. The quality is really, really good.
Great.
There's a slight delay. It's a mess in here right now. I've got wires all over the place making this thing work, but it's working.
I don't know that can be seen. I mean, we've got a little, some badges for upcoming events here. This is
the
from
mess
the
you can
Boilermaker.
see. The mess you can see. Like when Mary Finnegan walked in, she said, "Wow, this place is a mess."
Oh, come on, it's not
She
that
did
bad,
say that.
Mary.
Yeah, I would
Come
never
on.
say that.
All right.
Positive vibes only, people.
We want you to know that we have invited both. There are 2 candidates running for Oneida County Clerk. One is a Democrat, one is a Republican. We've invited both. Mary has decided to come in. Good morning, Mary Finnegan.
Good morning.
So, first of all, and we all have questions, but just explain what the job of a clerk. You're currently a clerk at Whitestown.
I am. I am the town clerk for the town of Whitestown.
Okay, so explain what the job is, Oneida County Clerk, what that job is.
Sure. So the Oneida County Clerk oversees 4 main departments. the registrar's office, the naturalization and passports office. She is the keeper of all the records, so she is the records management officer. And, of course, she oversees the Department of Motor Vehicles.
Okay. Go ahead, Jeff.
So how does that differ from, is there any difference? Obviously, you don't have a DMV currently, but talk about the difference and maybe some of the similarities that you think make you qualified for it.
Sure. So for 17 years, I have been the registrar for the town of Whitestown. I also accept all important documents for the town. I process those documents, and I retain those documents. I also collect any and all fees associated with those documents. That is the same exact thing that the registrar's office does in the United County Clerk's office. Again, we accept documents, we process those documents, we retain those documents, and most importantly, we safeguard any fees associated with those documents.
Recently, a lot of times when people talk about the DMV, it's always a complaint. The lines were too long. I had to wait too long, and then, of course, there was the situation with the Rome office that had closed temporarily.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on that, and how do you avoid that type of a situation if you're elected?
Well, I think one of the main problems with the Department of Motor Vehicles is their current Qmatic system, and that is a system that processes, anything that you're going. Any procedural thing that you're going to do at the DMV, that is the system that they currently are using. It's an antiquated system. It's been a system that's been in place for a long time, and it just doesn't work properly. It breaks down several times a day. I've spoke to Lisa Zane on several occasions. She is the current supervisor for the Department of Motor Vehicles, and it is a real problem. Because, let's face it, if you can have 30 competent employees, which is, what I think they have at the DMV. They have competent employees who know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. But if you have a system that's breaking down several times a day, that's not the fault of the employees or of that poor customer who is left to stand there and wait for, God knows how long, because they're just not able to process whatever they're there to process because the system's breaking down.
Are you talking about the system where if I go in and I'm turning in plates, then I get assigned a D9 or something?
Exactly. So the Qmatic system works, that's the system, just like anybody has, we have a program system in town in Whitestown. If my program system was to break down 3 or 4 times a day, it makes processing, impossible.
Sure, absolutely.
So if we're not updating that system, which I feel is, should be something that should really be looked at on day one, then, I don't know where we're going. We really need to update the system.
Are you talking about changing the system that's in place, or when you say updates, is it like
So
technical upgrades?
Right. So there's several things that could be done. We could upgrade the system with technical ability, or we could look into, possibly look into the state, to help us to do that, because it's a very expensive system, obviously. That could also go hand in hand with what I think would also be a wonderful upgrade would be the kiosks in the foyer of the DMV. It would just be an excellent way for people to be able to go in and do simple transactions, and that could go hand in hand with the new system.
How important is Rome?
Oh, Rome is extremely important. Rome needs to be open 100%. Those residents deserve a DMV that's open Monday through Friday, not 2 days a week.
Right.
Absolutely.
I've never been to the Rome DMV. Is it as crowded and congested as it is in Utica?
Okay, I would think so. I mean, they have several residents. I would think that that's an important an important office to be open. Obviously.
Do you think we're good with just the 2? Does there need to be more? You mentioned the kiosks. Go ahead.
Right. Well, the kiosks would be a way of checking in. Perhaps if you'd like to go get a cup of coffee, that can tell you got a 20-minute wait time.
Sure.
Okay, great. I know what my expectations are. Sorry, what was the question again?
Two offices, a Utica, Rome,
okay,
or
so
more?
yes, let's get back to that. I also think that I would love to work with the town supervisors, and I would love to have some satellite offices set up throughout the towns. I think it would just be a great way for residents to be able to go, again, simple transactions. You can go to your town clerk's office. You can drop off plates. You can drop off your registration. We could have runners that are going to those places on designated days to collect those things. It's just another way to improve customer service for the residents of Oneida County.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't know what else to.
I would.
I mean, I just think when I think of clerk, I just think of the DMV. I know there's a lot that goes on with property and transactions, but a lot of that stuff's online, I believe.
Well, and how much of that that online aspect is changing over the years? We're seeing a lot of the information.
Well, because a lot of people want things that are more easily accessible.
Right,
You know,
right.
it's happened in the town of Whitestown too. You know, all our death certificates are now processed online. You know, you can now go on and you can apply for a marriage license online through our town. So it's improving customer service. It's improving the lives of the customers and the residents of Oneida County. You know, people's time is important. So,
And I'm assuming also that customers that experience, whether it's at the DMV or you're needing records, people want it accessible, but at the same time, you want to make sure that your information is not being used nefariously.
Exactly. I mean, that is the number one concern of the residents, and it should be. Your personal information needs to be safeguarded, and I 100% guarantee that will be ensured.
Okay. How would you say you will be? So there are two opponents, two people running for the office. How will your reign be different than as county clerk if you're elected? How will it be different?
Well, I feel that, you know, the 17 years of experience that I have in the town of Whitestown, especially in the leadership role that I've had, I think it makes me an excellent candidate. I think it would make me an excellent county clerk. You know, I've managed a staff. I've successfully prepared budgets for the past 17 years. I have advocated for my employees over the years. I have, most importantly, I think, provided excellent customer service to the residents of the town of Whitestown, and I would like an opportunity to do that for all residents of Oneida County.
Can you explain the process with the Rome DMV? Because I think residents are saying that it needs to be open. Who is, and you've said that, who's responsible for that being closed right now, and who is responsible for? Is it the state? Is it the county executive? Is it the current county clerk? Who's responsible for that?
So the only person that can open the Rome DMV and the only person that had the authority to close it is the current county clerk.
Okay.
That is the only one. Make no mistake about that. There are three what's referred to as constitutional positions within the county of Oneida. That is the district attorney, the sheriff, and the county clerk. That gives them complete autonomy over their departments, the hiring and firing of their employees, the hours of operation. They are solely responsible. So the money's there, the money has been allocated, but there is nothing that the county executive or the board of legislators can do unless they're asked. The county clerk has to go.
So the county clerk has the power to...
Absolutely. She has the power to hire and to open that Rome DMV.
20% he cannot come in and say, I am opening the DMV.
100% not. He can allocate the funds
I didn't
to
realize
hire,
that.
but he has no authority to open that Rome DMV. It is not within his authority.
Have you talked to current clerk Sandy DePerno about the decision to close that or limit the days and hours of operation and what led to that? Do you know what led to that?
Of course. You know, they just don't have the employees to cover. You know, they just don't have the employees. Although, you know, I say that, and that is the reason. You know, there's just not enough employees. However, you know, I do know that the money is there to be able to hire employees.
Gotcha.
But they have to be asked for.
I would think there are some positions where you just got to figure out a way to make it work.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, you're not going to close down the jail because you can't. You got to find a way to make it work. And I would assume the DMV could be considered one of those. It's a pretty important, not just for average resident, but think about what it's like for car dealerships that are trying to.
We're losing millions of dollars in revenue because you know the car dealers are simply just going other places.
They're going elsewhere.
They're going to other counties.
All right. Anything else, Christine? You have anything, Jeff?
Just over the 17 years you talked about your experience. Can you talk about some of the changes you've seen over that time? I mean, we
Sure.
talk about things going online. I'm sure there's more to it than that.
Yeah, of course. We've had several changes. Most recently is the modernizing of our records, which is something I'd also really like to bring to the county. It's so important. The documents that I safeguard and the accessibility to them now has just been life changing for the residents. You're looking for your marriage license. We can pull it up in the blink of an eye. There's no longer going through books and indexes and files, and it's just the modernization of records is just so important, and that's something that we've really done in the town of Hoytstown. I'm very proud of that.
Have there been other changes that have affected what you do?
Sure. We COVID obviously affected us, but we're considered an essential office. So it didn't change my role. I still worked full time Monday through Friday, but it certainly did affect the way that we've done things. It then, like for instance, I have now, allowed the residents to go online to fill out their information about marriage licenses. It just gives them a sense of security, I think, that they don't have to come in if they feel uncomfortable about that. So it's a service that we now offer, which I'm also very proud of. We've streamlined that service.
Oh, great.
Mary Finnegan is running for Oneida County Clerk. Hard to believe that we're running out of September. And before you know it, early voting, which will really be the end of October, but early voting is just around the corner. We have invited your Democratic opponent to come on as well, and we appreciate the time.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Mary Finnegan. 7:32. We'll break and come right back here. Hold tight. We will do the free money question this morning, give you a chance to win from the Hubica Law Firm. And we're nearing the end, Davey, of the big moment where there's a big anniversary coming up for a local antique shop, the Potting Shed, celebrating their 50th anniversary. And we have a $50 gift card to give away as part of our free money question of the day. We'll get to that coming up in a second. 7:33 at WIBX.
Are you getting a high return on your money in the bank? If not, then bring it over to GPO Federal Credit Union. At GPO, our savings rates are high because we're a credit union and our interest is in our members. You'll fall in love with our rates, 2.40% APY for a 5-year term share certificate, or keep your money liquid with GPO's money market share savings at 0.70% APY. Start building your savings today. GPO has savings products for all generations, from kids' cash savings for youth to retirement accounts for your future. Stop on in to any GPO branch and open your high-interest savings account today to start earning a higher return on your money. CD, $1,000 minimum deposit. Money market, $2,000 minimum deposit. NCUA insured. Penalty for early withdrawal on term share certificates. Membership eligibility required. Rates subject to change at any time. See branch or gpofcu.com for full details.
Pam and Tony saw Mattress Express's infomercial for the number bed. They came into our store in New Hartford on Commercial Drive in the Hannaford Plaza next to Red Lobster. Tony was a lot of fun. He said, I don't have any back problems, but I want to be comfortable, and my wife and I cannot agree on a bed. Tony liked a firm bed. We put him in the Q8 Queen Flex set. His number was 40, firm. We elevated his head, elevated his feet, put the massage on medium. He said, perfect, I'm comfortable. His wife, Pam, liked her side a lot softer. She was a 22. We elevated her head a little higher, her feet a little lower, and put the massage on low. She said, perfect. No wonder they could never agree. Folks, the number bed is the answer. It was affordable because they qualified and signed up for the 5 years, no interest, no money down, and they were thrilled when we told them the number bed blowout was held over for a limited time, and they got a $1,000 prepaid gas card. We have a store in Oneida in the Glenwood Plaza by the movie theaters as well. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Tired of companies like Google and Facebook watching everything you do online? There's actually a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
This is Harry G., the heat pump expert from Country Suburban. When your state planning to eliminate fossil fuels, heat pumps are the wave of the future. Heat pumps can save you up to 30% or more on your heating and cooling bills. Right now, you can receive up to $20,000 in heat pump incentives. Call 315-735-5300 for a free estimate.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, I want to, if we can, before we do anything else here, get to the New Hartford Police Chief, Ron Fontaine, who is on the line right now, Davey? Yes. And over the weekend, there was an incident at Perry Junior High where there was, I believe it was a cross-country meet between two schools, but there may have been others involved. It was at the very least Mount Markham and New Hartford. And at some point, there was a threat that the man in camouflage was trying to lure kids into the woods. There was even talk that there might have been a weapon involved. When it was all said and done, it was determined that the entire story was made up.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of police, a lot of resources. Oneida County Sheriff's a drone unit there. New York State Police, New Hartford Police, Utica Police. The Chief of Police at New Hartford on the line right now, Ron Fontaine. Good morning, sir. And what do we know? What do we know about this?
Well, you summed it up very well. This past Saturday, the 17th, there was a cross-country event being hosted at Perry Junior High here in New Hartford. There was a juvenile race participant from participating school at the event, and he reported to officers that were on the scene already working a security detail that we provide at the school for such events. They reported that he had been near the wood line there, that if you're familiar with the property, it's surrounded by some woods, at least on the there by Perry. He reported that he observed a male with in possession of a handgun, and that he had somehow convinced him to come into the woods. At some point, the juvenile stated he was able to break free, if you will. The suspect wasn't paying attention. Apparently, that's what the initial report was.
Okay.
He broke free and ran further in the woods, and eventually was located by a resident in the area once he got to the other side of the woods. That's the basics of the story that we were provided. That was about 10 minutes before, I believe, the last event was going to take place. And if you're familiar with cross country running, you know that once they start the event, we're committed probably for at least a half an hour or more.
Yeah.
So the officers on the scene, working that security detail along with school officials, made the right decision in a very short amount of time and decided we're going to cancel the last event. Out of caution for abundance of caution for everyone's safety there.
Chief, can I ask you? Did ultimately this juvenile was charged with making a false complaint? Was it the police determination that this did not happen, or did at some point the juvenile allegedly say, "Okay, guys, I'm sorry, the gig's up. I made this story up because I had a personal issue going on"?
He maintained, or the juvenile maintained the story for approximately 2 hours. As we began to investigate and search the area, we did have some concerns. However, ultimately, the juvenile did, admit that it had been made up. But that didn't happen right away.
Right. Sure.
Which forced us to continue to until we had enough evidence to deem that it was not credible.
Yeah. Which the resources involved, the drone unit, the UPD involved, state police, and your department. It becomes a problem when you later determine that it's not true. Do you have is there a motive? Is there a reason?
To give you, to say exactly why, I think it ended up laying somewhere between maybe some embarrassment due to just some personal things going on, and the story got away from him, obviously, quite quickly, and you know how that goes.
So I think this is key here, and I'll ask it this way because it sounds like we're not going to find out exactly what specifically, but what I would say is, do you feel that this was done in a nefarious way, or if this was done, there was an embarrassment and it got out of control and it just ran?
No, the latter.
Okay, so this is not a juvenile who's trying to prank police and
No, I don't have that feeling of it.
Okay.
Taking everything into consideration that we know, and taking into consideration what he told our investigators later.
And I think that's important to note, right? Because immediately, people are like, "Well, what is going on with kids today?
Yeah.
Here they are, costing police agencies and municipalities all this money and time and manpower, and God forbid an accident happens across town and there's no one there to take care of that. It's a dangerous situation. But knowing that it was not nefarious, I think, is important, Jeff.
Just one other thing. How was it determined that the young man had gone into the woods? Basically, my question is, did this runner not come back to the finish line, so they were looking for him? Or
initially, the very onset of this, he was missing. So that's the first information that our officers became aware of, is we may have a missing student. Well, then when he was located, that's when this false report was offered to officers on scene.
I understand. Okay.
So there was a short period of time where he wasn't accounted for at the event, and then he then he became accounted for. And when questioned, like, basically where were you? What happened? That's when this initial false report was provided, and then maintained. And as I said, given the timing of it, the officers there had a very short window to decide: do we let this event continue?
Yeah.
And if it was to have been true, which they didn't know at the time that it, for certain that it was not, would have been a risk to everyone's safety to let it continue, perhaps when there is potentially an armed suspect in the area that we're trying to locate. So,
all right,
decision was made with the school staff. Fortunately, everybody exited orderly and allowed us to time to do our job.
Chief, thank you so much. Ron Fontaine.
Thank you, Chief.
New Hartford Police Department. Certainly was it all seemed to happen very, very quickly on Saturday morning. So
what is going on?
Holy cow. Yeah. All right, Ron, thank you, Chief. We appreciate it.
Yep, anytime, guys.
Have a great day. All right, let's do our free money question of the day from Hobica, and it gets quite interesting here. Are you ready for this, Davey? This is a chance for you to win $106.90 from the Hobica Law Firm. I have a great question that fits what we've been talking about here this morning. In addition, Fat Cats Comedy Club reopens this weekend, Friday and Saturday, with a show Friday and 2 shows Saturday. I have a 4 spot for you, a table for 4 for this weekend. If possible, the 9 o'clock show, 9:15 on Saturday night. Greg Morton, who will be in studio on Friday morning, is back in town. We love Greg from NBC's America's Got Talent. He was one of the finalists. Just an amazing show. And Karen Rontowski, who is also hilarious, performing Friday and Saturday at Fat Cats. Plus, from the Potting Shed Antiques, their 50th anniversary, we have a $50 gift card that we're giving you a chance to win as well. So win or lose, you walk away with a whole bunch, plus possibly some of Hobica's cash. We'll take caller 2 right now at 315-736-0186. $106.90 on the line, plus more. Caller 2 at 315-736-0186. Call right now, 315-736-0186. We'll do it next on WIBX.
Sometimes my inner me wishes it could have a do-over. I mean, I wish I'd traveled more. I wish I'd never cut my bangs. I even wish I hadn't chosen the bank I did.
Well, some do-overs are easier than others. You should make the switch to Adirondack Bank. They're a local bank with friendly people and competitive products. I just opened a hometown checking account. There's no fees or minimum balances, and I even get online banking and mobile banking.
Well, switching to Adirondack Bank really does sound like the do-over I need. Oh, but I still wish I'd never gotten that spring break tattoo.
That one is harder to fix.
Make the switch and open your hometown checking account today. There's a minimum deposit of $25 to open the account. Visit your local branch or online at adkbank.com for more information. Member FDIC.
It's time to find new roads and save at your certified pre-owned Chevy store, Steve Ponte Chevrolet in Herkimer. When you buy a GM certified pre-owned SUV or truck, you'll have peace of mind knowing all our vehicles have passed a rigorous 172-point inspection with a 6-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty and a 1-year bumper-to-bumper limited warranty. Stop in today and choose from a large selection of SUVs and trucks. Test drive our 2019 Chevy Equinox or our 2018 Chevy Traverse. Enjoy great deals and the buying experience you deserve on every Steve Ponte car, truck, or SUV. Shopping for a brand new, reliable, sturdy, full-size truck? Steve Ponte Chevy has a huge selection of Chevy Silverados on the lot, with more arriving every day. But hurry in because they're going fast. Steve Ponte Chevrolet, your locally owned and operated dealership. Route 28 in Herkimer, or call us at 315-866-5080. See why it's always easy to do business at Steve Ponte Chevrolet.
Are your brakes noisy? Do they vibrate? Is your ABS light on? Don't take chances with your brakes. In the Utica area, locally owned Oriskany Garage is going to be your best choice. Quality parts installed by trained and experienced technicians. No tricky upsells, just the work that your car needs done right. All backed by a great no-hassle warranty. Oriskany Garage on Champlain Avenue near Utica College or online at ogtire.com.
Little Falls Lumber has everything you need to get your home ready for fall and winter. With colder weather coming, consider replacing your windows and doors with a more energy-efficient option. They also carry a wide variety of lumber, roofing, siding, trims, and more for your fall projects. With 3 convenient locations in Little Falls, Syracuse, and Schenectady, Little Falls Lumber is there wherever the job takes you. Stop in today or give them a call, 315-823-2470, or visit littlefallslumber.com.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, each morning we give you a chance to win our free money question of the day. And this morning, a little added to it from Hobica's Money, Joseph and Andrew Hobica, at 315-724-1600. To Fat Cats Comedy Club, Greg Morton this weekend. To a $50 gift card from the Potting Shed Antiques. You know why? There are no losers around here. We're like T-ball. It all ends in a tie every morning. Everything ends in a tie, or even better. Pat is in New Hartford, ready to take a shot at our free money question of the day. Hello, Pat. Good morning. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you guys?
Good. Are you a football fan? Did you watch the game last night?
I saw some of each of them. Not
each of them,
ton,
yeah.
But I saw some.
Okay. Well, listen, your question is going to be from the category of football. Do you want to answer it or give it to Davey or Jeff? There you go.
Oh, let's give it to Jeff.
All right, we're going to go with Jeff. All right.
I wish I had your confidence in me.
Oh, boy. Okay, here is the question. If Jeff gets it right, you win a question. Here is
no
your
pressure, Jeff. No pressure.
7 seconds, Jeff. What year was the Buffalo Bills' winningest season? And this might surprise you. What year was the Buffalo Bills' winningest season?
Was it last season?
No. Not even close last season. Bills, 1960, what? 61, 62, whatever.
69-70 was it? 69-70 was it?
No, the winningest season was in 1964 when the Bills went 12-2. In the 90s was next best. They were 13-3 in 1990 and 91. So the answer would have been 1964.
What were they last year?
Last year, I could look that up, but I didn't pull that one. It was not 12-3, 13-3 last year. Go ahead, John. I got you up.
I thought it was a trick question. I didn't think the Bills had ever had a winning this season.
They never won a season. That's what happened.
Very
I
nice.
like it.
Pat, so Hopika's cash stays in his pocket, but we will give you a table for 4 this weekend at Fat Cats Comedy Club. Greg Morton and Karen Rontowski as they reopen for the season, and from the Potting Shed Antiques celebrating their 50th anniversary, we'll give you a $50 gift card. Okay.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks. And Jeff, by the way, don't worry about it, man. I wouldn't have got it. I was going to guess next year.
Next year. You can tell he only watched part of the game last night, so we can't be that big of a fan. All right, stand by, Pat. Davey's going to hook you up.
Apologize.
And what was last year's record, by the way?
11-6.
Yeah.
I thought they were like 13-3. I mean, they've just been so good lately.
13-3 is. Listen, I got to tell you something. I know this is. In our group of texting last night, it was, I don't know if this team can lose this year. This team may go all the way, and that's only happened once. So.
Did they lose?
No, they did win.
Yeah,
it was a very big win, a crushing victory. Okay, Alicia and John in studio. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Let's talk about the Mohawk Valley Gives program. Alicia, I'll start with you here.
Okay, good morning. Thanks for having us. GiveMV.org is alive and running up until midnight. We have a 24-hour giving day with 150 plus organizations, nonprofit organizations that are listed and open for donations from anyone in our area with a $5 minimum, everything online, very accessible, and lots of options for residents and individuals to choose and support.
And, John, it's a $5 minimum, which is, so if you want to just dabble a little bit and giving a little bit, you can do that, but you could give whatever you want, right?
You could give $5 to 4 or 5 organizations.
Right.
Put them all in a shopping cart, one transaction. The interesting thing about this is if you go to givemv.org and you select, look at all the nonprofits that are participating, you'll see some really familiar ones there. But I would encourage people to scan the list and learn a little bit about because there are some nonprofits who don't have the resources to raise their own funds, and this is an umbrella vehicle for them to do just that and to really call attention to the good work they're doing. So you should check it out.
Yeah.
There's some familiar names: Utica Zoo, UCP, Abraham House, the Humane Society, Stephen Swan Humane Society, Empowered Pathways, but some others I hate to say I'm not familiar with. Woodshill, am I saying that right?
Woods Hill. Yeah.
Okay.
Woods Hill is an interesting one. Yeah, they do actually seasonal summer Shakespeare productions in this open theater. It's an old barn that's been renovated out in the Sequoia area.
We talked about this a while back.
Yeah, and the admission to the productions is free. So they need to raise money to support, pay the actors, and also to make the performance free for everybody.
It's a great cultural thing. It's something that you'd see in New York City and Central
Cape
Park or
Cod,
something.
seasonal type thing. Yeah.
There are so many options in supporting arts, culture, sports, scholarships, pets. I mean, you name it, you'll find. And like you said, there are things that are going to be very familiar, but also things that you're going to be like, oh, this is kind of interesting. Something I never heard about. And now those organizations might have some new friends, right?
Yeah.
For future giving and support. And this is really about opening those doors throughout our region for philanthropy and giving and support and giving everybody access to give. A lot of folks don't know how to do that. A lot of folks are like, well, do I just write a check to an organization? How do I do that? So hopefully this is opening those doors and giving people some confidence in giving to organizations and causes that they care about.
You got 137 on the list here. What inspired this?
Well, going through COVID, we knew that a lot of organizations were having a hard time fundraising, and I think that's understood throughout the nation. But our team was really looking at doing something fresh and new and opening, again, those new doors for not just new donors and giving everybody access to give, but also supporting those nonprofits who may have slipped a little bit in their fundraising or having a hard time getting back to their former pre-COVID fundraising activities. And it's our 70th year anniversary, so it's a new way to open those doors for us and being that support to our nonprofits and our residents. And hopefully this will be running several years in our future as well. So this is a new gig for us.
Can I also just talk a little bit about what the Community Foundation is able to do for organizations like Tim Reed and my our little creation through adversity, Real Men Get Tested for Cancer.
Right.
So there is no way our organization would be able to go out, hire an attorney, get in a 501c3, and put all of this structure together without a good chunk of our money going to the infrastructure. Here we come to you guys, and John, you can explain how that works.
Well, you're a good test case. You're a really good case study for one of the supportive services that we can provide, because people in the community who care about a cause or are impacted by something in their lives and they want to go do something good. They want to give back to the community, and they're like, well, I'll start my organization, as you said, a 501c3, a nonprofit. But you got to have an attorney, you got to do certain paperwork, but all they really want to focus on is the cause.
Right.
So they come to us and we say, well, we can do all of that back office stuff for you. We can support you. We can
the accounting
build
is done,
your capacity,
all of that,
take in the money for you and send out thank you, all that. And we do that on a much larger scale than we did for you, but you're a great example of how that can be a success.
So if you have an organization, Alicia, and a cause, this is a great opportunity.
It is. And again, it's about building awareness. And this campaign is, our team, Kayla Ellis and the entire team are involved in this, but they created this whole platform of a giving day, right? And it's not meant to compete with any other efforts or fundraisers or giving days that you hear about in Thanksgiving, Giving Tuesday.
Right.
This is about this mass marketing campaign, banners, it's all over the news.
Right.
And it
give to our organization.
But it's everybody's organization, right? Which
Yeah.
is the beauty of doing this together. So the MV Gives campaign is really about all of it, not just what the Community Foundation. And we couldn't do this without our sponsors. We've got StaffWorks and M&T Bank and several others who have really stepped up. And there's prizes on the leaderboard. There's all sorts of fun, active, and interactive ways to give and I don't want to say game, but be excited about, hey, this organization, if we get to this level, they're going to get a little extra money from another sponsor. So it's kind of an exciting day around all this activity about doing good, about doing good.
Less depressing than checking the Dow periodically throughout the day.
That's depressing, yeah.
You should go to givemv.org because it updates in real time, and it's not aiming toward a specific goal. It's just aiming toward the biggest bang for the buck, biggest bang to the most we can give to the most nonprofits in a single 24-hour period.
The website is givemv.org.
That's right.
And you can go, this is all day today.
Until midnight,
Until
11:59.
All right. Thank you, guys. Nice
Thank
job.
you so much for having us.
Great program, and you guys did a lot during COVID too. This is an important organization. You guys are doing great things. So
Appreciate that.
thank
Really
you.
do. Thank you.
News is straight ahead here. Straight ahead here. Straight ahead here. Straight ahead here.
X950 Utica Roll. W295DI. Utica Roll. Your news, talk, and sports leader. Town Square Media Station.
Yes, I'm Dave Anthony. Fox News. It is still raining in some areas that got over 2 feet of it from Hurricane Fiona, and that flooded a lot of the island. More than 1,000 people needed to be rescued, and power is still out in much of the U.S. territory.
We had thousands of people spending last night in shelters. We understand more than 128 shelters are set up across the island that will feed and house people as long as they need until more more assistance arrives, or they're able to return to their homes.
Fox Weather's Will Nunley. Public Fiona is now a Category 3 hurricane bearing down on Turks and Caicos. The world is in peril. That's what the head of the United Nations will tell world leaders gathered in New York for the General Assembly. President Biden will go there today and address leaders tomorrow. The surge of migrants coming to the U.S. illegally got a little bigger last month. From July, 203,000 were stopped by Border Patrol.
That brings the total for fiscal year 2022 to 2,150,378. That is the first time to ever surpass 2 million in a single fiscal year. And we still have 1 month left to go in this fiscal year.
Fox's Bill Malhusian near the border in Eagle Pass, Texas. The special master appointed to review the material the FBI took from former President Trump's Florida home has a meeting today with the Justice Department and lawyers for the former president, who claims he declassified documents found.
The Trump team signaled it does not want to disclose specific information about how the former president declassified the documents that were seized. As this comes as the information request seeking the standing declassification order the Trump team has used to justify keeping the records.
That's Fox's Sean Langell. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, Larry Elder here. I never really thought much about how aches and pains can reduce a person's quality of life until pain started keeping me from living my best life. Just a few years ago, using the stairs was difficult because of the back pain. Then I found Relief Factor, a 100% drug-free solution for aches and pains. Within a week, I was on my way back to being pain-free. Now I have my life back. I take Relief Factor every single day. Relief Factor can help your body fight the inflammation that causes joint and muscle pain and the other aches and pains that come with everyday life. Treat yourself to feeling better. Move more, live more, and just enjoy your life more with Relief Factor. Join me and more than 500,000 others. Get started today with your 3-week quick start for only $19.95. About 70% go on to order more because it works for them. Go to ReliefFactor.com to order now. That's ReliefFactor.com. Feel the difference with Relief Factor. ReliefFactor.com.
Good morning, WIBX First News with Keeler in the morning. News time is 8:03. It is Tuesday, September 20th. Your news is brought to you by Mohawk Valley Gives. Help more than 100 nonprofit organizations meet our community's greatest needs. Log on to givemv.org to donate today. 61 degrees, some heavy fog, rain, and mist in the forecast today. We'll have your full forecast coming up in just 2 minutes. A boil water advisory is in effect for Sequoia. It will remain in effect for most of this week. We'll keep you updated at WIBX950.com. The U.S. Department of Education naming their 2022 National Blue Ribbon Schools. One local district made the grade. New Hartford Senior High School is one of 200 297 schools throughout the country, and one of only 20 from New York to receive the Blue Ribbon status, according to the Department of Education. The only other school in central New York to be named was Skaneateles Middle School. The Oneida Indian Nation announcing plans to launch a new marijuana business in the coming months. They will both grow and process marijuana at a 50,000 square foot facility that will be built on Hill Road in Verona. Shops will be set up on properties located on Nation territory that includes portions of both Madison and Oneida counties. Despite the business venture, however, consumption of cannabis products remains banned at Oneida Nation Enterprise properties, including the Turning Stone. 2 job fairs will be held this week to ease labor shortages around central New York. The first hiring event is today from 2 until 5 at the Embassy Suites located outside of Destiny, USA. The second is tomorrow between 1 and 5 at the On Center. The State Department of Labor says the current unemployment rate is about 3.7%. That is down from 5.2% at this time a year ago. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer laying out his plan to help keep Empire State residents warm during the winter months. Schumer's looking to add money to the federal budget to make certain that home energy assistance funds don't run out. People can get anywhere between $350 and $675 annually, depending on their income and the heat sources that they use. Well, it happened in the parking lot at a Rome Walmart recently. A central New York woman Brittany Beninati says the Oneida County Sheriff's deputy was assisting her with something in the parking lot when a group of 6 people, 2 adults and 4 children, exited their vehicle and entered the store. The woman says Deputy Chuck Haynes, a sheriff's deputy, observed 3 of 4 children should have been in booster seats, but only one booster seat was in the car. The woman says Deputy Chuck Haynes went inside the store and with his own money purchased another car seat for the family. You can find that full story, a heart warmer, at WIBX950.com. Your WIBX Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Rome Health. Call Rome Health Surgical Specialists today for general surgery, breast surgery, or weight loss surgery. Their number 315-356-7770. A chance of showers today, mostly cloudy with a high near 68 degrees. Showers likely and possibly a thunderstorm tonight. Mostly cloudy with a low around 52. Showers and possibly a thunderstorm continue into the morning hours on Wednesday. Partly sunny with a high near 77 degrees. Showers likely Wednesday night with a low around 55. Thursday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Partly sunny with a high near 62. Showers likely Thursday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 42. Your temperature is brought to you by Country Suburban, your premier Lennox dealer. 61 degrees with heavy rain, fog, and mist right now. WIBX 950 AM and 106.9 FM news time is 8:06. Here's Jeff Manaski with sports.
All right, thank you, Christine. The Buffalo Bills off to a 2-0 start after they trounced the Tennessee Titans last night. Josh Allen looked good. 4 touchdown passes, 317 yards through the air, and Stephon Diggs caught 3 of those TDs. He had a big night as well. 12 catches for 148 yards. 41-7 was the final, as the Bills now move to 2-0. They are not alone atop the AFC East, as the Miami Dolphins also at 2-0. The other game last night, the Eagles off to a 2-0 start as well. They blew out the Minnesota Vikings 24-7 in Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts threw for 333 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. He also ran for 57 yards and 2 scores on the ground. We'll stick with football. One member of the Giants defense might miss his first game of his career due to injury. Leonard Williams has played 112 straight games without missing one due to injury, but he's considered day-to-day. He has a sprained MCL. He exited in the third quarter, and the Giants win over Carolina this weekend. Up next for the Giants is the rival Dallas Cowboys. They host the Boys on Monday Night Football in Week 3. Jets quarterback Zach Wilson is making progress as he works his way back from injury. The earliest possible return date is Week 4 against the Steelers. This weekend, the Jets will host the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday afternoon. Baseball, the Mets clinch a playoff spot for the first time in 6 years. They beat the Brewers 7-2 last night. And how about Max Scherzer? Perfect for 6 innings. Then he was pulled. He earned his 10th win after striking out 9, and he did not allow a base runner over 6 innings pitched. Pete Alonso had a home run, his 36th this season, a 3-run shot to help the Mets build their lead. Again, 7-2 the final. They'll continue their series against the Brewers tonight. Yankees were off last night. They welcome the Pirates to the Bronx for the start of a 2-game series tonight. Nestor Cortez is your scheduled starter. And coming up this weekend, Syracuse looks to make it 4-0.
Would that be 4-0, Davey?
Correct.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? This is like a joke. I feel like it's a prank.
I wouldn't call it a joke. I mean, it's quite
well.
impressive.
Syracuse is not a joke, but I feel like it's if
Right.
they move to 4-0, they'll host Virginia on Friday night at the JMA Wireless Dome. But
it would be the first time they. Oops, sorry, Christine. It'd be the first time. Christine, could you fix your camera? I had a shot on you, and then all of a sudden it drifted off into.
She did that on purpose.
It fell when I was reading the news because I had to move the computer.
It drifted off into your ceiling fan. I have a good shot of your ceiling fan.
You have an awesome ceiling fan, Christine.
That is a nice ceiling fan. Round and round it goes, the ceiling fan. We're still only getting, there we go.
Yeah.
Now you're getting there. Okay. People are asking why we can't see Christine, and she's trying to get there. Yeah, Davey, they'd go to 4-0. Can you believe that? 4-0 for the first time since 1832. That's not true. But it's been a long time. Although they were, 3-0 maybe 4 or 5 years ago? with done.
Let's see. This is that's an old comment. Okay. New York, okay. New York has always had coyotes. The DEC always claimed we don't have wolves.
Well, we don't have wolves. Is it
people
wolves?
Yeah. People have introduced wolves because they're breeding them, but you're not supposed to do that.
All right, so they're illegally breeding them?
John says it's good that they canceled the gun event with all the mass shootings that with musket rifles
Here's
being
the top
used
of, hold on.
illegally.
Here's the top of Christine's head. Just if you're wondering. There she is. Okay.
You have a very short attention span.
Look at that ceiling fan. Wow. That ceiling fan. That is a beauty. That is a beauty.
And Sue, by the way, look, I appreciate the photo. I'm glad you sent the photo, but next time save me a slice. The conversation about the best pizza, Sue says it comes from her backyard. It looks like she made a pizza possibly on the grill.
So
She's
she's
cooking on
got
the grill.
No, she probably has a brick fired oven. Yep.
Maybe she
lot
does.
of yep.
Maybe she
lot
does.
of yep.
Maybe she
lot
does.
of people.
Maybe she
lot
does.
of people.
Maybe she
lot
does.
of people have.
Maybe she
lot
does.
of people have them.
Maybe she
lot
does.
of people have them, and a lot of people have them in their 800 degrees, 1,000 degrees, and it will last and stay warm for a couple of days. You could be baking bread 2 days later. It's incredible.
Yeah, Sue sent us a photo. It looks like she's got mushrooms on there, some peppers. Maybe those are long hots. I don't know. It looks really good though. I'm kind of upset that she didn't leave us.
There's
a
Christine's
slice.
hand right there. You can see her hand. That's Christine's hand. Yep, there we go. There's Christine. There she is. Anything else, Jeff?
We did have
Sorry.
some requests for people saying they couldn't wait to see Christine Bellino.
We did get that. Yeah.
And I think you can see her right now.
You're making that up because
No,
I
no,
can
I'm
read
not.
exactly
Hold
what
on, hold
is
on,
in
hold
the
on.
YouTube
What's his
thing, and
name?
nobody is saying that.
Let's see.
I have
How many
a
cameras. John, Justin, Gerald, Darlene, Dave. Somebody asked. I know they asked. Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
I'll find it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a I do have an amazing story that I don't think is too far fetched. And Davey, I can't see who's on the line. I see it's a caller on line 1 about guns, but I can't see who it is. I don't know what's going on there.
RV.
It's RV. All right.
By the way, Lance and Lee, the new video looks sharp, by the way. Can't wait to see Christine in high definition.
Well, I'm
It's right
not
there,
sure that
Chris.
she's in high def yet, but there we go.
Please, no high def.
All right, listen to this story. A Cleveland auto mechanic who always but dreamed of becoming a doctor has officially become a physician at age 51. Dr. Carl Allenby talking about pursuing his dream of becoming a doctor. I'll play this, and then I want to give you my little take on it. My little take. Here we go.
Yeah, we're giving free oil changes for everybody who makes it out of the hospital today. I was ready for a change.
Yeah.
But and Christine, I'll ask this. I really think that if you're an auto mechanic today, why couldn't you be a doctor?
Right.
It's very similar. When I had my 11 inches of my colon taken out, it was done on a video game screen. It was robotic. And you think about what auto mechanics have to know today. I wouldn't have the first thing about other than changing the oil and adding the fluids, like even changing the oil. I don't even change my own oil.
Yeah, neither do I.
But adding like windshield washer fluid, you rely on what they have to know today is incredible. It doesn't surprise me that he could make the leap from auto mechanic to physician.
Right.
You know, you're doing the same thing. You're taking parts in and out.
Look, I agree with your point.
I told you to change the right tire, passenger side front tire, not the driver's side. You changed the wrong tire. Now that same conversation has been happening with. I told you not that kidney or
Limb.
whatever. Yeah, that I told you the right arm. The hell? Now Could you reattach it? At least the auto mechanic can put the tire back on.
When you talk about going from auto mechanic to doctor and the reasons you gave for why it would make sense, I agree that it would make sense, but I agree for the opposite reason. Because it's all done on computers now.
I know.
It's
Yeah.
all robots
That's
and
my point.
computers. Yeah.
That really is the point. I mean, I just think they...
I mean, I could be a doctor for crying out loud.
They have to know so much today. You know, I realize computers do a lot of it. But you got to know so much. It's so different than it used to be.
I just want Christine to know that I saw the look she made when I said that. Also, one other comment here. This gets back to something we argued about this morning. SHP brand looks great. Sleep in heavenly peace. Good morning. Bill, regarding the earlier story, the reason the restaurant is suing the guy over canceling his tip is because they already paid the waitress. They already paid the waitress
out the tip.
Right.
But
So
that's
you
on them. They should know better.
What do you mean?
No, I don't agree with that, Christine. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do.
Because they pay tips out. The right thing for them to do, they have a schedule in which they pay out tips. The guy gives a
$3,000 tip.
I know.
It's not like
He paid it. They were all celebrating. They're like, da, 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 da.
don't count your chickens before they hatch.
Yeah, but they
hatched.
They did not hatch. It's a restaurant. They know no bills. They process their payments overnight
But
usually.
but listen,
and the next morning you get up. Every restaurant knows this. The next morning you see your batch report and you see what actually went through.
Correct.
This should not have. This should not have.
But what they're saying is this went through.
Yeah, this wasn't
Here's
the next
thing,
day.
Christine.
It didn't batch.
It did batch. They're saying it went through, and then he asked for it back, and he's suing for it back. That's why he's suing.
Oh, I see what
It
you're saying.
batched.
Okay.
If you have been in any retailer dealt with credit card machines, you know what we're talking about. It batched
Got a bad
out.
batch over here.
It batched, and they paid it like they're supposed to. And then the guy came back and said, I changed my mind. I'm suing you for the money back. I got to tell you something. I don't think he's going to get the money back.
And my wife wants to know who Mariana is.
Good point. And then I have RV standing by on the line right now. RV, good morning.
Good morning, Bill.
Good morning,
hey,
sir.
And I'm going to correct you. There are wolves in the state of New York, but they're damn few. The Conservation Department of the state of New York planted wolves by the pair in the Adirondack Park and the Catskill Park.
All right, we've been told that wasn't true, but you're saying it is true?
Well, it was. I was told by a conservation person
Okay.
that it was true. That was years ago.
All right.
Now I don't know if they have died off, or just water if they were shot by somebody or what. I don't know that. They were put there at one time.
Okay. I'm assuming wolves were native to the Adirondacks.
They were.
Yeah, they were.
Well, there's a Wolf Lake Landing. Died there in the boat not too long ago.
All right.
There's all the, it's got wolf. There's a lot of wolf points around and all that stuff.
Well, I hear there are wolves in Marcy right now. Very fast wolves.
Well, it's like they say coy dogs.
Coy dogs,
Well,
right.
Which is a cross between a coyote and a dog. I went to a seminar a few years back. The conservation department held.
What are those dogs? They're just wild dogs?
Well, they're a coyote. They're a coyote.
Okay, all right.
But
I got to
that's
tell you
what they
something.
said,
I got to tell you, we have.
That they told us at that seminar.
We have
I'm only going on what they said. They're a coyote. They're nothing more than that.
We have a tiger cat, and that I keep seeing in our backyard, way in the back, and it's always hunting. I swear to God, that thing is wild.
Well, it's probably a large feral cat.
It's large. This cat is large. I could ride this. I could ride this cat. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's huge. I'm gonna throw some rain, throwing some reins on, and this is a large cat. It could be a neighborhood cat.
The other question I got to ask you: are you ever going to get on TV again?
Well, we are on TV. You just we have to help you figure out how to watch it.
Well, what station are you on?
Well, see, it's more complicated than that. We're on YouTube Live. Do you have like any of the
computer?
Any of the streaming services? Do you have an iPad or a computer or anything like that?
No, I haven't. I do not have anything like that. I have just a regular TV.
Is it a smart TV?
Yeah, but I'm not very smart to run it.
All right, look, it's easy. You are smart.
I just have regular cable. That's all I have.
That's fine. That's all you need. You don't need
somebody
anything.
could show you how to do it, and all you got to do is go to YouTube Live, and you'd find us every day. And it comes right up, and it's really good.
RV, are you in your living room?
All right.
Well, you shouldn't be watching TV while you drive anyway.
All right. Well, call us some morning in front of your TV, and we'll try to walk you through it. All right.
Well, yeah, but what channel would I be? Would I tune it into?
It's not a channel. On your smart TV,
you go to input.
Yeah, you'd see a little box that says YouTube. You click on YouTube, and then in the search bar, you just put Keeler. Today's date is 9/20.
And it'd be
so
right
put
up.
Keeler.
It'd be right up.
Keeler 9/20, and it comes right up, and it's a live stream of the show. It's not something that you get. You don't have to pay a subscription for it. It's not a cable subscription. It's not a YouTube Live subscription. It's completely free, and you can watch it right on your TV. Say that again.
A little Jewish in me,
What's that?
I said I got a little Jewish in me. I don't like as long as it doesn't cost me anything.
Okay, well, that's not appropriate to say, but
what?
We'll still help you on the TV thing. So, all right.
Okay.
Drive carefully.
I appreciate that, and thank you very much, and I'll do that one of these days.
All right. Thank you. All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So that's time 2. So RV's going to shoot the governor the last time, and then which was facetious, and this time he's making stereotype.
Can we
Jewish
get a
stereotype?
Can we get a warning?
Come on, man.
Can you have a live scroll on YouTube Live that says when RV's on the phone?
Boy,
earmuffs.
David, good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey, Bill. This is Rodriguez.
Hey. The Rod Man.
What's going on, guys? Good to hear from you. Listen, Bill, I was just listening to your show here, and years ago, and you were talking about your yard. You have the biggest yard that I ever seen. You got a pool.
Well, it's not that big. Well, let's enough of this. But it's not that big, for God's sakes. It's
small. Well, listen to me. I got a friend says there's 50 people looking for a place to stay.
Okay.
And I gave him your address. Is that all right?
Good. All right, good. I don't know where this call's going, Dave, but thank you. That's awesome. So
you're welcome.
All right. You have a nice day, Dave.
Later. Bye.
Okay.
Later. Bye.
Okay. All right.
Is it a bus from Georgia or from Texas or Florida?
DeSantis is sending it up. I got a break. It's 8:23. Coming up, we'll talk about the anniversary. 50 years of antiques. That makes probably the people we're going to talk to antiques. I think when you think about it, right? Once we get to be 50, they consider us antiques. I'm 57. I've reached that point. Or at the very least, every once in a while, my wife will call me a gem. I don't know what she means by that. Got a break. It's 8:23 at WIBX.
Montessori Preschool at Notre Dame Elementary School was voted #1 in the Observer Dispatch's Best of the Best. Enrollment for this year is still open, so apply now to reserve a place for your child. Montessori at Notre Dame Elementary School is for children 3 to 5 years old and follows the educational principles of Maria Montessori. Our teachers and assistants work one-on-one and in small group instruction to help children develop their potential in an engaging environment, inspiring creativity, better self-discipline, and self-correction and assessment. At Montessori at Notre Dame Elementary School, language, art, science, math, and geography are all part of the curriculum. In Montessori classrooms, children make creative choices in their learning, while the classroom teachers offer age-appropriate activities to guide the process and help children become lifelong learners. Enrollment is still open, so apply now. For more information, call 315-724-5118, extension 35, or visit NotreDameUtica.org. That's NotreDameUtica.org.
Mohawk Valley FCU is giving you even more reasons to become a member and save money with their early fuel loan program. If you use alternative heating such as propane, heating fuel, pellets, or wood, then Mohawk Valley FCU has your back. You can receive up to $2,000 subject to credit approval. Stock up now for the upcoming heating season and save with Mohawk Valley FCU. Just one of the many benefits Mohawk Valley FCU has to offer. Visit MohawkValleyFCU.org for more info. Mohawk Valley FCU. Member focused, member driven.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Tired of companies like Google and Facebook watching everything you do online? There's actually a simple solution: DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with a push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
I'm William Attar. Big truck crashes often result in serious injuries or death. After a big truck crash, call William Attar, the largest motor vehicle accident firm in the state. After a serious truck crash, call us right away so our immediate response team can preserve evidence while you focus on your family. Truck crash? Call William Attar, 315-444-4444, South State Street, Syracuse.
Hi, this is Frank with Northland Trailers located on River Road in Marcy. At Northland, we offer a full line of utility, snowmobile, enclosed, dump, and equipment trailers. We can also custom design a trailer to meet your specific needs. In addition to trailers, we have a full parts showroom, and we service what we sell. Our family business is proud to have been serving our community for over 4 decades. Northland Trailers is located right outside the city of Utica. So swing on down and let's talk towing.
Rome Health provides convenient access to the best surgical care out there, and it's all done right here. This is big. Facing a possible breast cancer diagnosis is definitely distressing. When you need breast surgery, you don't want to wait weeks for an appointment, only to find out you're waiting even longer to get your surgery scheduled. At Rome Health, they provide personalized breast care treatment. The team coordinates every aspect of your care to make it easier for you, from genetic testing to imaging, surgery, and recovery. In most cases, breast surgeon Dr. Mark Williams can reschedule or schedule your consult within the same week and often the same day. And then you can trust Rome Health to schedule that surgery promptly. Rome Health is nationally accredited as a breast imaging center of excellence for its commitment to maintaining the highest quality standards. The surgeons at Rome Health surgical specialists perform a broad range of general surgical procedures, including hernia surgery, thyroid surgery, and weight surgery. For the best surgical care out there, Rome Health Surgical Specialists. Call them today, 315-356-7770.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Hey, the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is from Daylight Donuts. Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. It's September, so think about the soups as things cool off. Delicious, hot and hearty soups, coffee, espresso, lattes, iced coffee. Get a box of coffee for the workplace. And fresh bagels, fresh donuts every single day. Chuck Sedella and everybody over there at Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. See if I'm doing this right, and I am. Okay, there we go. And in studio right now is Don Hartman from the Potting Shed. Don, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Congratulations on 50 years of antiques.
Thank you.
Let's start, if we could, about how we got to the name, the Potting Shed. How you came up with that?
Well, we originally, when we started, we were Hartman's Timeless Treasures, and we also owned a family flower shop, Hartman Flowers. We decided to go full-time antiques, and we're trying to decide a name. And Nancy saw Country Living magazine, and on the front cover was a potting shed, English potting shed. It had flowers, plants, and antiques.
Okay, so there you go.
She said that was us.
That was it.
Because at that time, when we first converted over to the potting shed, we also still continued flowers and plants.
Oh, okay.
Just retail cash and carry.
So now located in Whitesboro, same location.
Same location.
There, when you're looking for antiques, as you through your place, it goes around. There's nooks and crannies. There's all over the place.
There is. We've got just about 3,000 square feet of showroom.
Wow. Wow.
People come in, they're just amazed. They all say, I thought it was just this front room. But on the main floor, we've got 4 rooms, and then the basement is full.
Yeah. And antiques, it's a big business today. I think a lot of people are very much enthusiastic about antiques.
It's around again.
Yeah.
50 years, we've seen all the ups and downs. We lately had been into the longest down we've seen in a while. No. Well, actually, COVID, I think, has helped us. People were sitting home.
Right.
They were looking around their house. And once we reopened, they'd come in and say, I need a change of pace.
Yeah.
I've looked at that piece for so long, I've got to get something different.
Cool.
So we did see an uptick after we reopened.
After COVID. All right, cool.
You know what the thing is, too? They don't make anything like they used to.
No, the quality of antiques.
Plastic and junk. We're such a throwaway society. You buy something, you're shocked if it lasts more than 10, 12 months. If it lasts a year, you're wow.
Yeah, they didn't know what wafer board furniture was back then. Just everything you buy is solid wood. The quality and craftsmanship, a lot of the pieces are handmade. They'll last. They've lasted over 100 years so far.
I was just thinking about this the other day. We have a couple of hardened pieces, and how collectible is hardened? And does it increase in collectability now that they're out of business? Right?
I haven't noticed anything.
Yeah.
It sells well at the estate sales because it's good quality furniture.
Right.
But it doesn't bring anywhere near what they paid for it originally.
Right.
And down the road. But you and I will never live to see that day.
You're right.
It's the value's gone because of the collectability.
So so to give you an idea on hardened, if you go to one of the places where they were selling hardened new, you might find a dining room set for $8,500, $10,000.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
But go to an estate sale.
Right, and it's selling for a couple hundred.
Yeah.
Maybe not even
good
that?
solid cherry set, maybe up to $1,500.
Okay, all right. But nothing compared to what was paid for.
No.
Yeah. How about that, the checkered thing, the Mackenzie child? My wife is big into that stuff. That's out of Rochester, and I wouldn't say that it's collectible, but it kind of is. It shows up now at various garage sales and that
It's
sort of
not
thing.
anything that I'm familiar with. I hate
What's
to say.
hot right now? What's big?
Our biggest sales are coins and jewelry. That's what's the main thing going out.
Yeah.
Coins is coming back big time. And it's nice. I got a lot of young collectors come in, 10 to 15-year-olds.
Really?
And,
okay, that's
and
cool.
And they know their stuff.
Right, right.
It was nice. One day, Father was saying, he says, I love bringing them in here. He'll go home, and he'll go up in his room, and he'll sit there, and I may not see him for a few hours. But I know he's not up there playing on his games.
Right.
He's researching, he's cataloging. He's
got to be
doing
amazing today to with collectibles because I think YouTube has been bad for collectibles. I realize it's probably been good, but there's just so much saturation out there.
Yeah.
Do you feel that it's been bad?
No, not really. It's given information.
Yeah.
People are learning. They've seen it on YouTube and they want to come in. They want to see the real thing.
Right.
They want to hold it. They want to touch it. They want to look at it. They want to see what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So it hasn't really hurt that bad.
How about records, vinyl records?
Vinyl's always been hot.
It has, yeah.
Still is.
Yeah.
I just can't get the amount or the quality or the subjects that they want.
Do you find that every once in a while, all of a sudden, people learn about a certain, maybe 30 years ago, 50 years ago, people were like, Elvis, the pelvis, here, take this. And you would have no idea that what it's worth today.
Yeah. And I hate to say
it. But as they learn all of a sudden they don't want to give stuff up anymore.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you're familiar with a name like Elvis, the value isn't there. Every household had Elvis albums.
Right.
The quantity is out there. What you want to do is find an album of an obscure group that you've never heard of before.
Right.
That's got value.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
And in
Old Blues on 78.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, hard to find.
But anything in 60s to 80s hard rock is what you're going to look for the most.
It's big.
And a name that you haven't heard.
Any chance early 90s baseball cards make a comeback? That's a little. Where's my rim shot here? Yeah.
What about? So I was big into. We were collecting Wheaties boxes. All of a sudden, it became a thing. You got to get the Wheaties box. Now, if you get an old Wheaties box, I'm assuming that's worth something. But all those, they started producing. Wheaties figured out they're buying our boxes of cereal and they're throwing out the cereal. Let's just make more. And they made all these covers and all these sports athletes that were all over the covers.
They flood the market with it.
They flooded the market.
And that's what happened with baseball cards.
Yeah.
They just made so many manufacturers got in, and they just pumped out so many, that it just destroyed it.
That's what happened, too. All of a sudden, Elvis was flooded. The market was just flooded with a bunch of junk.
Yeah.
20th and 50th anniversary, whatever, Elvis stuff. But if you can get back to the old stuff, some of that original stuff.
It gets some good early stuff.
Yeah.
But, it just, the name doesn't give it the value.
Interesting. Yeah.
For some reason, you know me. I'm always so sports centric.
Yeah.
Do you have sports items in there? Maybe like a throwback to the Clinton Comets, original Comets. Do you have any sports memorabilia from the area?
Something like that, I would, if it was local. But sports memorabilia in itself, we really just don't get into it.
Yeah.
I never was into it that much as a kid, and therefore it didn't come around with the business.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about old radios?
Yes.
Love old radios.
Yep.
Especially the 50s. Is it Bakelite? Those 50s type. They're plastic. They're kind of like plastic. But
the Bakelite.
Bakelite. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything in a color Bakelite, yes. Brown or black, no. But a colored red, yellow, green, blue Bakelite radio, yes. They bring in some premium prices.
Wow.
What I've got in the shop right now are some of the old wood-cased radios, some of the old steeples and things like that. They're not as fast-moving, but they do sell.
They have a great
they'll
sound,
want them
too.
to decorate.
They really have an amazing sound. So, all right, so you're celebrating 50 years, and it's when? It's coming up this Saturday?
This weekend is our big celebration.
All right.
Saturday from 10 to 4. And we've been giving away $50 gift certificates daily. And they're available for use after this Saturday.
Okay.
But this Saturday we're having the big drawing, so come in and sign up for a $500 shopping spree at the Potter's Head.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You obviously have seen thousands, tens of thousands of items. You've been in this business for how many? 50 years.
50 years.
What moves you? What piece comes across your desk where you go, I'm not selling that, I'm keeping that? What type of stuff moves you?
Be honest, well, I used to collect White Utica stoneware.
Money, Jeff, money.
But, a good piece of local stoneware, maybe White Utica.
Okay.
That'll get me excited. If you come into the shop, I've got quite a few display cases, some local. I've got display cases from Wynn's Bakery in Utica, or in Whitesboro, I'm sorry. I've got an old display case that used to be in a coffee shop down on Bleecker Street, and it's an old tobacco case. Things like that. On top of one of the cases, you'll see part of my local collection. I love anything that relates, to our local area.
And it sounds like in your childhood, right, when you grew up.
Yes.
Yeah, that's always the nostalgic pull,
I've
right?
always been chasing junk. And
it's not, it's the whole one person's junk is another person's treasure is really true.
Yeah. It just when I found a piece one time in the flower shop and realized it was worth money, I got excited. And actually, I started advertising for it and getting it in, for my own enjoyment. But the ones that used to call me with the little old ladies from the garden clubs. And there were several in Whitesboro, New York Mills, Oriskany, and they would call me, and they were shrewd. Pottery, but I had to take everything in the attic or everything in the garage,
Right.
And I was getting bushel baskets of glassware and china and stuff I knew nothing about. And my mother was getting upset that I was filling up her garage. So finally, Nancy and I decided we got to look at what we got and start selling it. And that's
how I was born. One more that I wanted to throw at you. And if anybody has any quick, we're probably wrapping up. 315-736-0186. If you had something quick you wanted to throw out there, but Coca-Cola has always been quite valuable. But you got to be getting the real stuff, not the commercialized junk that they've been putting out and flooding the market.
You got to get the early stuff.
Yeah.
And
I almost think like anything that comes from any other beverage company that might have been an industry piece, like something that was in a restaurant or maybe was given to Coke would oftentimes give something to employees, and that ends up on those things tend to be kind of valuable, right?
Because there wasn't a big production.
Right, there's not a lot of them.
It was limited.
Yeah.
And then that makes the difference.
And you have to be careful with these items today. This is something really big, and I saw a lot of it at Bouckville. I didn't go this year. What did you think of it this year?
I hate to say it, I didn't make it.
You didn't?
For the first time in 47 years, I wasn't at Bouckville.
You and many, many others. It's not what it used to be.
Yeah.
Down there, but
that's what I heard.
One of the things that I found down there last time we went 4 or 5 years ago was they do an amazing job of making something look old. You think you're buying an old piece, and it is not.
Yeah.
Especially when you find a good way to tell, I would assume, is when you see 20 of them sitting there on the shelf.
Exactly.
Right?
And you do. And I can remember back in the day, KG dealers that were actually had aging tanks. They had tanks of chemicals, and they would throw a wood piece or ceramic piece into the tank, and the action of that would make it look old.
Makes it look old. Yeah.
And today we have Chinese imports.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, and they're doing the same thing.
Yeah, you think you're getting this really old piece that, and you're not. It's something that's been reproduced.
Someone already pulled off the Made in China sticker.
And you got to be careful too with some of the Coca-Cola stuff, like the trays and that sort of thing. You think you're getting an old tray when it's
they're copies of the old.
Yeah, and they don't have the value.
No.
So, all right, good stuff. So this weekend is the big celebration.
Saturday, 10 to 4.
Correct. Yep.
Sign up for a $500 gift card for a shopping spree at the Potting Shed Antiques.
Yes.
Pretty cool. All right.
Great job as always, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Congratulations on your all the success and all that stuff.
Thank you.
Cool stuff. 8:42. We'll break and come back. Wrap up here for a Tuesday morning on WIBX.
Are you getting a high return on your money in the bank? If not, then bring it over to GPO Federal Credit Union. At GPO, our savings rates are high because we're a credit union and our interest is in our members. You'll fall in love with our rates, 2.40% APY for a 5-year term share certificate, or keep your money liquid with GPO's money market share savings at 0.70% APY. Start building your savings today. GPO has savings products for all generations, from kids' cash savings for youth to retirement accounts for your future. Stop on in to any GPO branch and open your high-interest savings account today to start earning a higher return on your money. CD $1,000 minimum deposit. Money market $2,000 minimum deposit. NCUA insured. Penalty for early withdrawal on term share certificates. Membership eligibility required. Rate subject to change at any time. See branch or gpofcu.com for full details.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
Out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Hey, I want to tell you about Encera's Flooring Outlet, the area's leading flooring store for Pergo Extreme by Mohawk. And only Encera's can offer a lowest price guarantee on Pergo Extreme. They will beat anyone's Pergo Extreme price within a 60-mile radius of the store. Pergo Extreme from Encera's, deeper visuals, a deeper protection, superior wear layer, and a deeper warranty. Do you know that Pergo Extreme by Mohawk, when it's Pergo Extreme for a reason, by Mohawk, 100% dent-proof, waterproof, kid-proof, pet-proof, even coyote-proof, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. Is it wolf-proof?
I'm pretty sure. Wolf-proof. It's everything-proof at Encera's Flooring Outlet. It is a quality flooring. And there's the end-of-summer sale going on right now, 99 cents per square foot on commercial carpet. It's the largest inventory. Sal is ready to bring you in and set you up with the flooring of your dreams. Get a $50 off coupon on their website at encerasflooringoutlet.com or get 6 months interest-free financing right now. I say or, but really it should be and get 6 months interest-free financing right now. Encera's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, just down the street from us. Online, encerasflooringoutlet.com.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, Manaski has some comments. I have some as well out here this morning. What do you have there, Jeff? Good morning.
Well, I think we need another way for our audience to communicate with us. So I'm going to start on YouTube where Tim the Tool Man says, you guys are awesome. Hey, Tim, what's up? I look forward to seeing you at some Comets games this year. That's usually where I run into Tim. This is a follow-up on our conversation with Sue about the pizza. Bill, you're absolutely right because she has sent us a photo of her.
She has the like a wood fire oven.
Right, it's
brick
called
oven.
Alpha, like a brick oven, right? Alpha Pizza, I think I
Cool.
can see the label on the grill there. This is my brick oven. It's manufactured in Italy. She said the secret of the dough though is staying with her because it does look like a thick, full, crispy dough. So I just asked for a slice, not the recipe, Sue.
Okay.
And then Rosa Utica says, you know, that RV ought to be banned. What a bigot. I'm a long listener, but won't be for much longer if he's allowed to continue. He knows better.
Yeah, Harvey, you can't say stuff like that. Come on. Save that stuff for never, really. You just can't do those things. A couple of other comments. Ross, I wouldn't think that you remembered this, but a couple of months ago I inquired about how I could download a copy of your rendition of the Johnny Cash song where you guys use the local towns. Any luck? Yeah, I'll send that to you. There are a million things I want to do. Like, I'd love to put everything up on YouTube and all that stuff, and it's on my list. I have a very long list. Do you know my list will, if you were to stretch it out, goes all the way to the moon? It does.
I feel
a very
like
long list.
You could do a parody of where Bill's content is. Bill's been everywhere, man.
I've been everywhere. Yeah,
he's been on cable. He's been on radio. He's been on FM and on AM and YouTube.
Okay.
And obviously, I'm not a good parody person.
All right, Johnny. Enough over there, Johnny Cash. Be careful. Ann in Rome, good morning. Concerning new gun laws, Governor Hot Mess is what she calls her, passes a law, and no one can understand it. I hope people remember this in November. Julie, I heard you talking about this earlier. Adverse possession is definitely a thing. You can end up possessing property after taking care of it for 10 years. Yes, but within limits. Let me just explain.
Yeah.
If you're helping out a neighbor and mowing their lawn, you are not going to own your neighbor's lawn, which they pay taxes on, right?
But what if I go one space over with the width of my mower, and I always do that strip? I don't get to acquire that property?
You must own it. Apparently, you'll own it. I just, this world is filled with a lot of paranoia. That's all. And it's a shame because it gets in the way of other people's decency. It gets in the way of people wanting to be decent, willing to be decent, because there's a backfire involved. And it's a shame. Like if we could just let down the guard, the world would be probably a much better place. Unless we're doing that at our borders, and then that's going to be all hell's breaking loose. Do you think that no, I don't think you do, Christine. Let's see. Center for Biological Diversity.
Oh, yeah. So this is the
What is
Nagel
this?
thing. So we've got a man from Lincoln Davies on the line. So I wanted to read this before I tried to explain it. But the Center for Biological Diversity, this gets into our whole conversation about wolves in New York State and the comment that New York State DEC has claimed that there's no wolves in the state. So this is, again, Center for Biological Diversity from Albany. A recent DNA analysis of an 85-pound, they call it canid? Is that how they say it? Canid? C-A-N-I-D?
I don't even know what that is.
An 85-pound canid.
Is it like a wolf dog or something
I think
like
it's
that?
a canine
Okay.
something.
All right.
Canid, shot by a hunter in central New York in December, shows that the animal was, wait for it,
Christine, was a wolf.
A gray wolf.
Get
According to the Maine Wolf Coalition, at least 10 other wolves have been killed south of the St. Lawrence River, once thought to be too great a barrier for wolves to cross. New York's proximity to Canada, where wolves have long been documented, and large swaths of suitable habitat and prey make it likely that the species will continue to venture back into the state. Yet, the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation has long denied the presence of wolves, this says.
I don't know why the denial is there. It almost seems like there's fear of, I don't know what. I don't know why it's always denied. A canid, by the way, is, I'm looking at a picture right now, almost looks like a cross between a dog and a fox. But it is a mammal of the dog family. So you're interesting. All right, Nagel, thanks.
Thank you, Nagel. The wolf killed in December was shot by a hunter who posted photos of the animal on social media. At the time, wolves had had their Endangered Species Act protection removed. They have since been protected again after a successful lawsuit by the wildlife advocates. The hunter agreed to provide Northeast Ecological Recovery Society tissue samples of the animal for DNA analysis, which was completed at Trent University. The test confirmed the animal was a wolf, with Great Lakes, Northwest Territories, and Eastern gray wolf DNA.
Well, I would describe that man in Whitestown as a canid who went chasing after the wolf. Right? I mean, chased that wolf right away from his dogs. It had killed dogs. And
the thing I thought was funny was he ran after it, and the dog kind of paused, but then the dog did a little end around, and he wanted some of the action, too.
The dog was going to go after the thing, too. That's just what a dog is going to do.
Better. Yeah.
And then Donna asking on antiques, what about Garbage Patch Kid cards? Garbage Patch Kid cards? I don't know what
She
that
means
is.
Cabbage Patch?
Well, that's what I would think, but it's kid cards. So maybe it's garbage.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah,
they
so
were
do
like
I.
spoofs.
Yes, they were like Cabbage Patch Kids, but like one of the dolls would have like spaghetti hair, and they were collectible cards.
Don't even know.
I had a bunch of them. I might still have some.
On the line is Ed Jones, Lincoln Davies Fall Festival going on. As long as we're promoting things that are happening around the area, we're reaching that season where fall officially is in play. As of Thursday at 9:04 p.m., we reach the autumnal equinox, or the whatever it's called. And here's
Technical term.
Here is Ed Jones with Lincoln Davies. Good morning, Ed.
Hey, good morning, Bill. How are you today?
Good. So talk about what the Fall Festival means for you guys over there at Lincoln Davies.
Okay, so every year we run a 13-acre corn maze. This year we're celebrating 150 years of business, 5 generations, owner-operator. And so we just like to thank the community and run a Fall Fest. We're going to run September 23rd, 4th, and 5th, Friday night with a haunted hayride out to the maze.
Cool.
Saturday, we're going to have a car and tractor show and chicken barbecue. And Sunday, just the regular corn food with food. Yes.
Yeah. Which is a compliment, because we oftentimes try to be, sound like something that we're not. And but you're very comfortable when you do those commercials, and I think you do a really good job with them. You also do. I mean, to be a local business like yours, And when it comes to lumber and hardware and all of that, it's things like this, the Fall Festival, the things that you do, those extra things that I think allow for local to reign as strong as you guys do. It's an important part of the community.
Yeah, thanks. We just want to get people that, have done business with us, and of course the people that have never heard of us. And what a better thing to try to get the kids up here and the families up here to have some fun and find us out here on Summit Road in Sequoia. And,
check it out.
Hopefully come back and use us for their next project.
All right.
150 years. You guys should have been bought out by a corporation at least 25 years ago, right?
Yeah. I mean, the crazy thing is the third generation, 5 of them, brothers and sisters, through the Depression, and it's always the third generation that kills a business.
Yeah.
And they made it through, and it's pretty cool.
I'd like to say that once you get through 3 generations, it's on autopilot, but we know that ain't true.
Right.
It's a lot of work.
Keep reinventing the wheel.
It is, yeah. Well, as times change and competition changes as well, but you guys have done a great job. So the Fall Festival is Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Also the following weekend as well, right? And that's when you do your birthday
You've got 2 more weekends. We actually started last weekend. Had some beautiful weather. Had a couple hundred people come out, and but yeah, we're looking forward to this coming weekend and the following weekend. And so yeah, please come out and check us out on Facebook, and the schedule's right there.
Ed Jones, thank you so much from Lincoln Davies. We appreciate it. Good luck.
Thanks, you.
He's made that up. Nobody's asked to see Christine.
Nobody is asking that.
What are we looking at, though? It's like this giant white. I got people texting me, and they're showing the messages are showing up on the screen.
Yeah, I dropped the camera. I have to reset it out.
Okay. You ought to get this new the new iPhone. Is it 14? The camera is just so unbelievable on this thing.
When does the price of the old phones go down? Has that happened?
Never.
I don't know if it ever does.
Because like typically what will happen is it'll go down, drop $100 when the new model comes out.
So yesterday, somebody called me and I'm like, well, I think I'm good for an. I know
it's a 30
They
cents
don't last 3 years. How can you have?
Here's how they do it. The way it's done today is they are taking the car industry thought of leasing, where you never own your car, you just lease, and this is the payment that you make, and it's a low payment. Like you might pay $25 a month for your iPhone, and it's along with your plan. It's built into the bill, so you don't really see it. But you never, and after like 2 years, you reach the 50% mark, then you can trade in for a new one. You trade your phone in, you get a brand. So you're basically always getting the newest phone out there, but you never buy it anymore. And some of those, I'm going to tell you, some of these iPhones are over $1,000.
I'm looking to
most of them.
Holy moly!
Yeah, I'm looking to get a mini. I mean, I'm going to be upgrading from an 8 Plus for crying out loud. Okay, an 8 Plus, not an 18 Plus.
Yeah,
an 8 Plus. So I was looking because these are so big. Like you can hear me coming down the hall. This thing slams off my leg. Yeah, I need something much smaller. So I'm looking to get one of the minis, and they don't do them anymore. They got the 12 and the 13. So I was thinking that now that the 14's out,
they might be blowing them out.
Yeah, and it usually drop $100 on the previous model. You know.
Okay, I still have the camera on Christine. You good, Christine? You good with that? Yep. Okay. There we go. All right, folks, that's it. We're back here tomorrow. Enjoy your day.
From Mealan's Carpet One. What's holding back that next home project? Is it budget? We have flooring choices for any budget and financing options available. It's inspiration. Maybe it's inspiration. If so, come and talk to our experienced design team. We're here to help you get unstuck. Maybe you're putting off redoing a room because you're worried about spills and accidents. Whether it's a pet in training or a growing family, we have flooring solutions that can withstand anything life has to throw at it. We have incredibly durable tile options and 100% water-resistant carpeting that's both beautiful and practical. We have options that inspire, designers who will help bring it all together, and always a beautiful installation.